Welcome, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the SR8s at Bathurst, one of the best tracks in the world, in my opinion. This is the final round. We're going to be here for 2022, and we'll be moving on to next year, 2023. What a year it's going to be next year. I'm electric about it. It's going to be so much fun. And Rob's in the box with me tonight, having a bit of a yarn. And how do you think about tonight, Rob? Yeah, it should be, mate. You know, 2023. It's a year that is just going to be so big for SRW, and we're just slowly counting down the clock to even this weekend. I mean, looking forward to this weekend. GT3s and V8 Supercars and Porsche Cups and TCRs all getting together.
No, that's next weekend, bud. Next weekend.
Next weekend.
It's the 10th and the 11th, buddy. The chemist weekend. You're excited, aren't you? You're pumped. You want it bad.
Mate, I'm so pumped, mate. And nah, should be good. But Tyler Sheaf's just getting a bit of a push from. I think that is now. I've been commentating this whole season. Scotty Callahan.
It's Scotty Callahan. That's right.
Mate, he had a week off last week. He had some work duties on, and he looks like he's ready to race again, racing Tyler Sheaf down the chase. But yeah, I'm absolutely pumped, and DSL Welding services for this series has just been absolutely great with us for this whole season, and yeah, mate, I'm looking forward to next season. That's all I can say.
Yeah, 2023 is going to be hot for sure, isn't it?
For sure. So we've still got about 9 minutes of practice left.
Yeah, we just get a bit of a look at the boys and see what they're up to.
Yeah, mate. Inside, Van Dang on screen now. I think he's a bit of a privateer, so he's probably looking for a team or just having a bit of a drive, having a look.
Isn't it good to see new drivers? Isn't it good to see the guys just coming out, even if it is the last round of the championship and they sort of got no chance, but just getting them out there and getting involved, isn't it? It's good to see, eh?
Yeah, it's good. It's we got Aiden Schultz as well in the race tonight, and I think Peter Gritton's in here. Almost said Peter Griffin. He would have killed me for that.
There's Peter Gritton there. Yeah, he's been doing alright in practice. He's had a few little mishaps along the way, but yeah, he's been there.
Yeah, the commentator. No, well, not anymore, but he's getting back into his racing. He's been very busy with his busy life. Been talking to him through the week. I'm just watching Tyler Sheaf absolutely just roll it down Skyline. That's why I went quiet.
We
just rolling down.
We can go back to that. Let's yeah, it's a practice replay. Why not? Let's show it off. Tyler doing Tyler things. Gets a little bit inside wall there, and just once again, once you hit that inside wall, you just can't recover that. You're just not going to do anything from there.
Yeah, he just unfortunately hit the wall, and that was it.
And Tyson, we are live.
Oh, sorry boys, how you doing?
Good, Tyson.
Yeah, good, mate.
Race control for
just
tonight.
want to let everyone know that I am driving the safety car tonight. I didn't realise we were live, so apologies to everybody who's tuned in for our early broadcast. It normally don't go live yet, but it's all good. I guess I'll have to
trying something different, mate.
Championship round, mate. Got to go early.
You can see me when we're on track. Hopefully, won't need to drive out there tonight and show off the sexy promo department car, but I'll leave you to it, boys. Sorry.
Right, and joining us now, we got Rattlegun's dropped in, so I'm going to hand it over to Scotty.
Guys.
No, you're right, Scotty. Yeah, we just went a bit early, mate. Covered the last 10-15 minutes of practice, being championship round.
Yeah, look, I mean, particularly for these guys, I mean, it was championship round last year. There's the only sort of question marks are the Frog Lake Juice guys. Other than that, we've seen them and Van Dang, Pete Gretton and Aiden Schultz are the only people that are sort of new to this. Other than that, we've seen a lot of these guys before, so I was reasonably confident we wouldn't necessarily want to cover too much in practice, and I was wrong.
Well, either way, I'm going to jump out of the box. I'm going to hand it over to you two boys. We are getting close to calling.
No. You're stuck. No, you turned your microphone on, Rob.
Hey, I can hang around. I mean, if you boys want to do a three-way tonight, I don't mind. We can bounce this around. We might bounce to my flashy new pit lane cam. Look at this, Scotty. What do you think of this? Look at
That's
this.
the perfect spot to set that up because that tells you where they're exiting pit lane, how closely packed up they are, and it sets up everything going up Mountain Straight as well. That's critical because this is the perfect sort of viewpoint. If a car is in the background of this shot as a car's leaving pit lane, so somebody's just come down the end of pit lane right there, more than likely the car that's coming down the actual racetrack is going to pass them on Mountain Straight, more than likely. So,
I mean,
something to consider.
I was going to say, Scotty, we saw it so many times in the week already. Like, we saw in the TCRs, it was a really close battle coming out of the pit lane, so that's an awesome shot to see. The guys just absolutely running out of the pit lane. So, yeah, it's good to see that little shot, Rob, so thanks for that, mate.
And a bit of a Combox favourite on track right now, Wayne Edwards. With his early breakers.
I was going to say, who's his... Oh, early breakers. Yeah, that'd be your favourite.
Exactly. Mate, if you're not early, you're late. That's all I can say.
No comment. No comment. But,
I'm sorry, I've had like a really, really long day, and the cricket's on, and I've sort of just, been zoning in and out. Yeah.
Oh, well. Mate, end of the season, finally, we're here.
No, it's just the start of summer, mate. It's the first game of cricket for the season.
Oh, mate, I've been at SRW.
Long season.
Yeah, we're moving into test match season for SRW, so it's going to be a whole bunch of test matches.
Yeah, technically, yeah. So, mate,
theoretically, I could take Shibby down on the nets whilst he's actually over here.
Oh.
You know that, yeah. Shibby's coming to see me for Christmas. All I want for Christmas is Shibby. And it's not necessarily going to be under the tree on Christmas Day, but Boxing Day looks like a day we're catching him, so.
Oh, wicked. Are you excited to see Shibby and catch up with him and, see a guy that's been talking in your ear for God knows how long?
My wife is expecting herself to be looking for a new husband on the 27th, so.
Yep.
Only the 27th? Wow, she's lucky then.
Well, she's giving herself like a full day of grace period.
Yeah, right.
But it's good to be at the end of the season, and mate, what a season it's been for these little radicals. We've had up and downs, and it's been amazing. We've seen some great battles over the past, haven't we?
Yeah, look, it's sort of gone. It's a tale of sort of a couple of different stories. If you have a look at, it's probably a really, really good opportunity to look back at the season and the year of SRW as a whole. We're going to have a lot of stuff to talk about during the Camo 6 hour next weekend. For ladies and gents out there, if you haven't registered for that one already, support classes are completely and utterly free to enter. The Radicals are out on track right now. These cars, this setup, that's going to be available for 90 minutes. So 45 minutes the journey here tonight, 90 minutes in next weekend. Yeah, look, there's a lot of ups and downs, to be perfectly honest. We've seen car numbers in a couple of critical series sort of really, really fall off. The Porsche Cup, which is going to be our finale later on tonight, has fallen a little bit out of favour. That's due to just some Porsche balance changes and the way that the car handles. It's actually done in the middle of this season. If you actually have a look at where the numbers for the Porsche Cup car have actually fallen off and the way that the drivers have reacted to those changes to the car as a whole, it's pretty much one-for-one matched up, so it's fallen away a little bit there. Then we'll move over to our TCR series. Numbers for the TCR series have sort of fallen off a fair way. But if you have a look at it and you go back and have a look at the numbers, Phillip Island, I think, was the number who had the fewest drivers there for Harry Dodds. Back to duties on a Wednesday night. Can't race, unfortunately. That's how it is. Adam Hughes had something on Wednesday night that week. Couldn't race. That's unfortunate. I actually had a really, really long chat to Jake Edwards throughout the day this afternoon whilst I was running scripts and whatnot at work. I get a lot of free time and those sorts of things. And Jake said sort of the same thing. I'm in and out. I'm not here every single week. I couldn't really participate all that often. Dropped out. I believe your team boss as well, Chris Brinkley.
Yeah,
I think he was only available for the first couple of rounds and then sort of dropped off.
It was quite interesting because he was so looking forward to it, and seriously, he didn't turn up because of work. He started a new job. He's got his own business, and he's working a new job as well, and he just couldn't have the commitment, and he really was looking forward to the series, and lucky enough, Jake Jackson stuck around though, and
It's just time of the week. Like to be perfectly honest with you, there was sort of a few conversations. Oh, this series isn't really doing too well. Numbers have dropped off. What's sort of going on? Rob, have you got the Super 2 timing loaded up at the moment? Is that a V8 Supercars stream? Because there's no way Andrew Cowan's on pole. I'm sorry, but the timing's lying to us. First and foremost, because the Cone Slayer 9000 is faster than that.
Oh, mate, do you know how much Andrew Cowan talked about the SR8s last night, mate?
He's licking his chops because he missed this race last season.
Mate, he is like pumped. And talking about getting pumped, we're in qualifying. They're all coming out of the pits.
Those tyres are about to get pumped, and they're going to try and bring them up to pressure.
Yeah.
See what I did there? Bicycle pump, pull that out.
Oh, the punts are coming out tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We've been seeing them all week. And next week. So we'll see them for the last time of the year. But here they all come.
I gave Ray Oliver on a different broadcast a big old serve last night. I don't know if he's heard it. I don't know if he's heard it yet.
Yeah.
The quote of the night was, look, Ray, I know I've heard the term rolling on the floor laughing out loud, but that's taking a little bit too far as Ray tumbles end over end through the grass at Phillip Island.
Oh, mate, what? So no reply yet from Mr. Ray Oliver?
No, but I'm hoping he finishes on the podium here tonight so that we can get the... Oh, Wayne! He's just turned in a fraction too early there.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. I looked away for like a second and something already happened. But talking about Ray Oliver, we might as well, while we're on the subject, Scott, how has been the improvements recently? He went to like these last 3 rounds and just smashed it out of the park. He's just been really doing well and bringing it to cover, Michael.
Yeah, look, he's done a phenomenal job. I'm going to be honest. I think the quote, I think he's a really honest driver, and he's honest about himself. He's honest about his own performances, and to be successful, that's sort of really what it takes. But at the same time, Ray's out there just having a blast. Like he's out there giving the boys some chirp. He's going to give Nathan Allen a serve any day of the week. He's just enjoying his driving. And for me, if you're looking for somebody, what's the culture like at SRW? What's a really good driver that fits? I'm actually really, really glad we got Ray on board, because for me, he actually sort of personifies what SRW is all about. Clean, hard, fast racing, all the time, grin from ear to ear. And it's such a pleasure having Ray on board. As how his seasons progress, he got very close to the wall there on Forest Elbow. As his seasons progressed, I think you've seen him. He's not raced a lot of these cars of recent times, and you've seen him sort of resurge into the car. So started off probably a little bit tentative. There was a couple of little bit behavioural things with the car that he had to get used to once again, but now he's really on top of it. He looks so comfortable.
Oh. I mean, as I just saw Jacques just go a bit wide, but it's I mean, but you can almost say like there's so many different people that have just jumped into the deep end. Obviously yourself, Scotty, going into TCRs, Ray, Doug, even Doug.
Yeah, what a standout performance from Doug. Like he's done really, really well.
Yeah, I mean, such a good championship with you too for the TCR. But Michael Cutter just on a absolutely flyer right now. Should point that out. But mate, it's been such an impressive season for all those drivers that I just pointed out. For yourself, you jumped into it so fresh, and you've just went, right, I'm going to take on this challenge and see what happens.
But that comes with putting a lot of time in the car away from the SRW scenes. The difference in terms of TCRs versus SR8 Radicals, and if you sort of want to take a contrast of looking at perhaps myself and Ray Oliver, is that there's official races going on for the TCR all the time. I'm just enjoying the car. Like you can bang doors in those things, and it's totally fine. They're acceptable. They're compliant with that. The Radical, you can't do that, so you've got to be a little bit more cautious with the way that you drive things. The SR8 won't let you make as many mistakes, whereas the the TCR, I've not had a lot of sleep, ladies and gents. The TCR will let you sort of make those sort of mistakes, so it's quite an easy car to adapt to. It's also a great car to focus on applying your racecraft, whereas the SR8 Radical really is this temperamental, throaty, grunty track beast, and part of the thrill of driving it is that, yeah, there's a race on, but at the same time, you've got to fight the car on the track first and foremost, and then the race is sort of second fiddle. It's who can manage. Oh, that was the wall.
Oh, that was huge. Just absolutely huge crash onto the top of the hill there. That was absolutely massive there. That was
what times was the Formula 3s here or last night, or was they?
Yes,
they
indeed
what
they
were
were.
the lap times here for the Formula 3s? Because that's quite critical.
Do you want to have a guess? Like, let's.
No, I literally don't know because
Okay, so the F3s last night.
Yep.
We're about the 57s. That would be a comfortable lap for them. Not just a really nice lap, but the guys just pulled out another probably a second or two just to try and find that extra bit.
Okay,
but,
so the Radicals are going to be a touch slower than the F3. So the F3s are probably going to bring up their tyres a lot bigger. So ladies and gents, what I'm sort of analysing and sort of starting to put together is I need to understand how the cars sort of interact, because I'm actually going to be participating in the support categories for the Camo 6-hour event. One of those is the Formula 3 Radical Combo.
Wow.
So it's a really, really good opportunity for me to start to look at what are these drivers are doing. I understand the Radical quite well, but the Formula 3s, I've never meshed with the car. I've never felt comfortable in that car, and I've never been able to extract ultimate performance out of that. Whereas I know I'm not quite a Michael Guttajar, but I'm probably around a Ray Oliver in a pace. So I can sort of look at that and go, this is what my lap deltas are going to be to those Formula 3s. This is where I'm sort of going to be. What a lap! 50. Was that a 58.0? No, it's in the 57.
No, 57.5.
Okay, so the problem I've now got when I have a look at the Radicals and the F3s coming to Bathurst is the lap times are going to be so close together. The other problem that's going to be cause of concern is where are the fuel tanks that are going to be, what's the fuel levels going to be like? Because in this setup, it's a 40-litre setup. That's going to get you somewhere in the realm of sort of 15 laps out of a Radical. 15, 16 laps, somewhere around there if my numbers are right from the previous season. So what does that equate to? Oh, look, 80 litres is going to get you 30 laps. Guttajar's still turning those quicker sectors too, but not quite so good up through the cutting and then initially across the top. So we'll see how that continues to develop. He's now gone, I think he's into the S's and whatnot. Middle sector perfectly across the top, so it's not quite as good. So we might actually back the lap down at this point in time. Might be just cooling those tyres back off. Yeah, okay, so
yeah.
Okay, so he's not quite as far through the lap as I potentially thought, so he's a little bit further back. Yeah, so first and foremost, when you sort of set yourself up for one of these kinds of races, there's a couple things you're going to be looking at. Fuel burn is absolutely critical when you're in an endurance race. Anything longer than half an hour, fuel burn is definitely a big factor. Anything less than a half an hour, there's not really enough time to influence that fuel. Oh, that's a scrape on the wall. Yeah,
that's close.
That's enough damage that I would sort of say I'm hesitant to say he'll go faster for the remainder of the session, and there's not enough time left to get himself back up to speed either, so...
That was close to just him absolutely bouncing off to the other dimension almost.
Daniel Fritz has put together a whole bunch of green sectors, so he's going to improve on this lap.
Great lap. So that's...
Also, was Fritzy we were on board with? Okay, so it was Van Dang we're actually riding on board with right up across the top. And then that's the colours are quite close together. Fritzy's gone ahead of Brad Wall. I'm a little bit curious about that one. Brad Wall's probably a little bit further down. So something I do know about Brad Wall, I'm just having a quick look in the SRW chat rooms at this point in time, and Brad's actually sitting in the chat room with the rest of the boys. He's one of the few drivers that doesn't drive all that well with people talking in his ear. He needs a fair bit of quiet and concentration to be able to get the most out of the car. You'll probably see him make a few more mistakes than he normally would tonight, so...
I think it's a bit of a chill out night for him tonight, though. I don't think it's a huge thing for him. I mean, he's got Cowie behind him. I mean, in a way, it's actually kind of a serious night, but Cowie needs to have a really good result here tonight to have a little bit of a chance for jumping Brad Wall. But we haven't seen drop rounds go in yet, so technically Brad's actually not on an easy night tonight. He kind of needs to have a good result so Cowie doesn't jump him just in case. But it should be an interesting night.
It's got to be a standout performance is the critical thing from, and we'll probably refer back to this all night long. It's got to be a standout performance from Cowan. The time's not on the board yet, so he's going to be starting down the tail end. That could be perhaps... No, so we're on board with Cowie, so he is out. Okay, so I can see what's going on. I know what's going on. He's registered himself under suit. There's something funky going on within the timing screen, so it's a little bit late to sort of fiddle around with that. We'll have to keep an eye on it in the background, but...
bit of slide coming through the dip of the car in front of him. That was a huge slide. I think that might have been Wade Edwards in front of him. No, Nathan Allen. In the carbon fibre livery.
Yep.
Don't mind a carbon fibre livery. Always looks clean.
Oh, I'm always down for a bit more fibre, yeah. Normally I prefer mine in a cereal bowl of a morning, but occasionally a bit of Nutella on toast. I'm actually thinking about making pancakes and Nutella later tonight.
I was going to say Cowie's on his lap here, but I was going to say, what's your favourite cereal, Scott?
Stone Cold Tire Killers. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
Yep. Sounds like a Scotty thing to say.
Loops, so it's got to be what's the Loops one? Not Fruit Loops, the other one, the Odie one. Chex, something like that. Starts with C.
Oh, that's interesting. Andrew Cowan just jumped up to P5. Sorry to cut you off though, Scotty, but P5 Andrew Cowan's just jumped up too.
Yep. So keep your eyes on him and Brad Wall.
Only a 10th off Jacques as well. So yeah.
Yeah, but have a look. It's a 10th off Jacques. But it's 2 seconds off of Butterjar. That just tells you the raw speed he's got. I'm going to be honest, I'm looking at the board and I'm looking at Nathan Allen and I'm going 202, like, Nathan's better than that. Yeah, that's a disappointing lap for him. So he's got to clean it up and put something together. There's probably a mistake in that lap. So he's going to put a clean lap here together. He struggled last night at the TCR. Was not a great night for him. I just think Bathurst is just one of those tracks that Nathan just cannot put the...
Massive incident there with Nathan Allen just absolutely just launching the thing because Cowie slowed down through the...
So there's nothing wrong. Cowie's pulled right out of the way early enough.
I think it's just scared him.
Yeah, it has. You got to be comfortable, driving alongside people across the top. I mean, there was a moment with Sinkovic last night. I think it was Steven Sinkovic.
How insane was that, Scotty?
Everyone just used their heads. Everyone just used their heads, and better heads prevailed. Doug had a 1.2 second lead at that moment, so I mean he lost a little bit of time, but it just went back to pack race. Ultimately, it was the best result for all because nobody gained anything, nobody really lost anything. Everyone sort of settled back down. So
you kind of gained on De Bono just a slight bit, but it wasn't much.
But everyone made those sort of margins up and wiggled.
Yeah, but do you? I mean, like going from a TCR. Obviously, you and I have driven it around Bathurst recently. We practiced last week. Do you think when you do the sport category, Scotty, now we know that both of them are so completely different, but do you think it will kind of mess with your brain when you jump one to the other on the Saturday?
Yes, definitely. It's not easy. It's the way that the two cars sort of drive that's really polarizing. The TCR is very understeery, and the SR8 Radical's very oversteery. So the problem is with an oversteery car, you can carry a lot more speed into a corner than you can with an understeery car. But it's all about balancing the car in the mid-corner so that you can maintain that momentum and sort of drive off a little bit harder. With an understeery car, you have to underdrive your corner entry, try and just hang on to some sort of momentum in the mid-corner, and then focus on prioritizing that exit. So it's all about exit speed in something like a TCR. Whereas a Radical, it's a little bit more entry speed, carrying that speed into the corner. So the way that they deal with their speed is quite different. And that's also caused by a lot of torque in the rear end, but it's also caused by just the raw weight, size, and downforce difference of the two cars. That's a great save.
That was an awesome save.
That's an awesome save.
Ray Oliver just, I think he might need new underwear for that. That was very close. Oh, if we could get a replay of that, Rob, that was absolutely amazing. But, poor Ray Oliver. When you have those moments, Scotty, you just kind of, for the race, you'd be like, yep, don't push it as much as what I've just done there. And I think that's what Ray Oliver would be thinking right there. So the back end's just rotated on him there. So he's just smacked the brakes on, nice and hard, locked all wheels so he can get the car stopped. Great save. And Sean Noble just absolutely getting through there by a hair. And as Ray Oliver just parks it right at the wall, and that's your qualifying done, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, that's it. That's the final qualifying effort of the season. And yeah, look, I mean, it's a difficult night. It's going to be tricky. It's going to be about survival. We saw that last night. You know, it was about getting through lap one. These cars with their hitbox are a little bit more consistent. The Audi's just got a garbage hitbox. I can't stress how bad it is. We actually saw it was nearly an identical amount of space outside of the Audi all season long. That's just how the car's made sometimes. You know, it's limited technology, and that was prior to actually iRacing actually taking off, was when they put the Audi out. So it is slightly worse product because it just didn't have the money to be able to do something with it. You know, it really, really changes. And that's why you see better hitboxes on the current crop of cars, on the current tracks that we have. So
yeah, definitely. Like, I remember talking to my teammates about the V8 Supercars and going, why is the mirrors like not just flying off when you hit a wall? And
it's they were put into the sim before that was a thing. It's just, you know, so it's just understanding the limitations. The SR8 Radical is another one of those older cars, but the benefit of the Radical is that it's a single class series. So anytime you've got a single class series, it does quite a few things in terms of the levers that you have as an owner, sorry, not as an owner, as a league admin, and things that you can sort of do. First and foremost, everyone's got the same set of circumstances, whether that's car hitbox, track condition, everything. It is dead even. It's then about how you, if it's an open setup league, how you set up the car, how you rotate the car, how you go about your whole philosophy of balancing the car. If I want a more understeery car that's going to perhaps not look after front tires as much, but it's going to really look after its rear tires, Radical's actually not a bad car for that, because when it gets really light on fuel, the rear gets quite dancy, quite unstable. So you want to target more in that direction. You definitely don't want to go chasing a more oversteery setup in a Radical. Or, you know, you can, the drivers have the option to sort of make these little balance changes around the car themselves. A lot of people that do sim racing, not very good at all at doing setups. And I'm going to put my big old hand up first and foremost and say, look, I can change the steering ratio. I know what that does. I know what a brake bias does. That's where it ends.
Well, I've actually been teaching myself how to make a setup recently, Scotty. And
so that's why you're getting slower.
Thanks, Scotty. I love the comments, mate. Thank you. But
I can put it down to something now. That's the win. Sean Noble's still out on track.
Surely, but I've been doing it recently, and I tell you what, there's so much you can change. Honestly, I sat there for probably a good 2 hours just trying to figure out spring rate, and so it's definitely not easy.
It's the rate that the spring extends and collapses, mate. That's what a spring rate is.
Yeah. So you know, even that too.
You're welcome.
Just figuring out the dampeners and then figuring out camber and just getting a proper insight of it, and made a setup that was
it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of experience, and a lot of it does directly correlate over to real life. That's why we see a lot of you know, guys that do this sort of stuff in real life, because there is, you know, you can't just sit down and say it's a fixed setup in real life. You got to do this, you got to do that. You can only set limitations, and it's on the drivers to sort of handle that. yeah, anyway, we're going to jump onto our grid. We'll continue talking about this probably after the second or third lap once things sort of settle down. Michael Cuttlejar, once again, is going to take the pole position from Ray Oliver in the Frog Leap Juice Racing entry. Nathan Verney on the second row returns to his little bit of speed in qualifying alongside Jacques Swanepoel. Keep your eyes out for the duel between those guys. It's been season long, and both of those guys have had their moments. Moving further back down the pack for me, Connor.
So Andrew Cowan in P5, Daniel Fritz in P6. He's been improving massively. I can't say it enough about Daniel Fritz. He's been doing amazing. Commentating 4 nights a week, you just knows the improvement. And talking about improvements, Brad Wall, he's just, especially as your teammate, Scott, and you know, probably teaching him a load of things. He's been improving massively, and he's a P3 right now.
Am I supposed to do that? Oh, okay. Anyway, moving on from Brad Wall, Wayne Edwards and Van Dang. 8th, 9th. Tyler Sheaf gets his first top 10 of the season on raw speed. Aiden Schultz and Peter Gretton for Southern Stars Esports and LR Esports, respectively. Nathan Allen all the way down the bottom, and Jamie Dykes a safety car driver. Tyson McAvoy's a safety car driver. Sean Noble and Scotty Callahan. So you're going to have 3 cars in a row on the right-hand side of the grid at the back of it, and none on the left.
So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go green for the last time with the SR8s, SRW, and they're gone. Oh my God, look at Michael Cuttlejar. What a launch! Just out of here. Gapped Ray Oliver already, not even to turn 1. Look at that, what a great launch there. So going up to turn 2 now. They're going to lead us away, and almost contact in the background there with Sean Noble. I can see in the background they went 3 wide at turn 1.
Yeah, it was Tyler Sheaf that got out of the way. Noble was dipping down underneath him. I think Callahan's already grabbed a whole bunch of spots as well.
Nathan Verney doing a good little job now. He's up into P3. He's done well there. So now he's going to be chasing down Ray Oliver. Jacques just absolutely gets almost, the wall almost moves right next to him. Andrew Cowan right behind him. He needs to move up a couple of positions.
But check this out from Brad Wall, though. Brad Wall's up a spot. I think he got past Daniel Fritz on that opening lap. He's parked himself right underneath Cowie's rear wing. Have a look at Verney getting close to the wall. Cold fires, ladies and gentlemen. She's going to dance.
She is definitely going to dance. And Scotty Callahan already up +4. So, mate, he's doing amazing already. Coming down the hill now, riding on board with Verney. And now back to Cowie. He's just right behind Jacques. This is where a night where he just needs to be consistent and just move up the field very slowly, but just not get the car in the wall. So I think that'd be his plan of attack, Scott.
I think it's going to be patience. Have a look at them, settled themselves in across the top. They've got that drive done all the way up and across the top. Now the tyres are starting to come up to temperature. Even though it's a straightaway, you're still putting load through the tyres. They're spinning around, they're rubbing against the ground. That's friction, that's tyre expansion, that's heat going through the tyre. It's air increasing in pressure through the tyre. Hotter expands, it's going to get more stable.
Cowie off the road there. Oh, that was too, just must have, as Brad Wall just goes by, yeah. And Cowie's went for the dive. He probably should have backed out of it. He's hit the curb. Yeah, Brad Wall gets it. So they've lost heaps of time there. That's, I wonder what happened with Cowie. I wonder if he just got understeer or too deep.
Yeah, just a simple little mistake. He wasn't much deep though. It's only a meter or two sort of deep. He just sort of couldn't arrest it. And the problem is if he'd applied any more brake, the rear end would have come out from him. So that's actually, when he's made the mistake, he's gone in a little bit deep. Really, really good drive.
So Brad Wall's on the outside of the corner, Cowie up the inside. Cowie's hit the curb already. Just beaten the car up already, and he's actually got a bit of damage on the right front already. Car's already got damage, so that's not good for Cowie.
Yeah, so that's just getting a little bit too close to a couple of walls, and that's Sean Noble. The right wing end plate looks crinkled. Yeah, there's definitely a crinkle in that. So he's had some sort of unsettling moment across the top for the first time. I wonder where that's come. Right-hand side wall, probably the Great Reed Park.
Yep. Yeah, where the old
Right here.
Yep, right there. The drain they call it actually, Scotty.
Great they call it these days, mate.
Oh really?
You're a sandgroper.
Yeah,
mate,
well.
You're a sandgroper. This is us Eastern Australians track. You can have your Barbagallo Raceway. We'll have Bathurst, thank you.
Yeah, done.
Oh, here we go. Schultz
Schultz. Oh, he was so close there, almost rear-ending. That was on Van Dang there, just so close on the back of him.
So I'll say a couple of things about Aiden there. I think he's elected to start from the back from purpose because this is his first time sort of out and about in the radicals. So he's bringing himself up to sort of that consistency and settling himself in. And so starting from the back is actually a really, really good way to sort of approach it. So he's doing that now. In terms of things, he's doing a great job, but he's got to be understanding and respectful. Van's sort of checked up to let Wayne Edwards settle himself in the corner. So, and now he's got Scotty Callahan creeping and crawling all over his rear bumper. That's not going to last long. Cal's just going to send it.
Yeah, he's just going to commit. No, he's backed out. Wow. Being very nice and smart there too.
That's Scotty Cal. He's super respectful.
I was going to say, let's go to a quick replay here, Scotty, because Nathan Allen's went around, so we'll jump to a replay.
He's just not a fan of Bathurst, is Nathan Allen?
No, he's not. He was very unfortunate in the TCRs last night, so see what happens to Nathan Allen here.
Look, maybe it's not that he's not a fan of Bathurst. I think Bathurst is not a fan of him. Maybe it goes the opposite way. Ray Oliver's just picked up rear splitter damage.
Oh, no.
So
there's Nathan Allen going around there.
Cold tires, a little bit too much momentum, a little bit too much steering input. So that's caused by he's got too much wheel in and a little bit too much rear grip. If you guys ever on the sim and you want to understand whether or not you're going too hard, too deep into a corner, go drive the Skip Barber. Go drive the
Supercar even.
No, Supercar's not great because it's real fat heavy. Go drive the Formula V. They will teach you whether or not you're going too deep into a lot of the corners because the rear end, the instant you're too deep, just swings around on you.
Oh, when you mean that, okay, right.
Yep.
Because I was thinking about, because with the Supercar doing a lot of driving, if you go too hot into the corner, the thing doesn't turn. The thing does not turn at all.
Correct. It's a very different, but that's because a lot of it's a very heavy car. Anytime you've got a lighter car, like a Radical, like a Formula One car, like an Indy car, for example, the rear just sort of rotates very, very quickly. It's when you're too fast in, the rear's not pulling up quick enough, and you're trying to rotate the front of the car. So the rear goes, yep, we'll go that way.
That's it. Bang, dang. Oh, he's got so much damage. If we could pop to him, he's got that much damage on that car. His back wing is absolutely destroyed. The car's
getting worse, yeah. So there's a few cars that are looking a little bit like that at the moment. Look, that's just a cheeky grin of a rear wing, to be honest. It's smiling at us. Every time you look at it. Look, Aiden Schultz is going to look through his helmet visor, rip a few tear-offs off. No, it still looks the same. Your visor's not funky there, Aiden. It's, his car is smiling at you.
It looks like Bang Dang's wings about to just fly off the back of it. He's going to see a grin. What are we going to call that? Because we call
the iRacing super glue. It glues wings on quite well.
Nathan Burney just millimeters off the wall there. That was too close for comfort.
That's too deep. So that's the opposite sort of effect. So because the car sort of leans uphill there, you get understeer whenever the car's leaning, going up through an uphill corner because all the weight sort of transfers and settles on the back of the car. Whenever you're going downhill, a lot of weight on the front of the car. Car will actually turn in quite nicely. So a little bit hot in there, and it's sort of offset by the angle of the road. Yeah,
definitely. And Callahan just on the back of Rob's favourite car, apparently. Wayne Edwards just coming down the hill now, down through the dipper.
He's had that livery for too long, though. I think somebody needs to take the pressure washer out. There's probably a really nice hot pink car underneath there.
Well, on Scotty Callahan's livery, so it does say "wash me." So
yeah. So apparently the dirt is black wherever he lives, and the mud and grime all over the car, and the clean car underneath is a nice hot pink.
Oh. Yeah, right. So down the Conrad straight now. So I wonder if Wade Edwards is going to back out of it. No, he's going to keep it on the outside. It's going to keep the grip. The downforce is working. So and then Scotty Callahan just goes around the outside. Bang.
Mate. That is how you leave space down through the chase. I hope there's somebody that's watching that one from last night.
So we'll keep moving forward. And So going to turn 1, and now we're back to Jacques. P4. So another grin on the wing, Scotty.
Yeah, look, what that says to me is that there's a whole bunch of radicals out there that are really, really enjoying themselves. So, yeah.
So now we're going through the cutting. Awesome bit of track. That corner there in the cutting, I love it. It's probably my favourite corner of the whole track. It really shows you if you can commit or not, because if you don't commit through it, you will lose so much time through there, probably a tenth or two. If you don't get your trail braking right, you go wide and that'll be it. So coming up to the grade, down the hill. What is it like in these things, Scotty? Because I've driven to these things a few times. Never at Bathurst at full noise. What kind of speeds do you reach around?
It's not. I have no clue. So normally in a lot of cars, you'll have a little bit of a time to maybe flick over at the tacho, have a look at what speeds you're doing, have a look at the RPM. I actually don't know what the lights mean in terms of RPM. I just know when the red one comes on, I need to shift. That's all I know about these cars. But the thing about Bathurst is it's so much of a commitment track already, right? So you're so close to the walls right the way around. And the Radicals is a commitment car. One of the most exhausting 45-minute races I've ever competed in was this car last season in the season finale. I was shattered after 45 minutes. I'm a guy who does 24-hour races on the regular. That's my sort of stuff. This thing nearly broke me. Oh!
Hey, shorts around. Off in the out in the weeds. That's just after the chase. Oh, one of the cars almost collecting him going through there, and I'm gonna say that was Peter Gretton going through there.
They're great mates, actually. Those two, Peter Gretton and Aiden Schultz.
They're actually sitting.
They lived together for a fair while.
They're actually sitting in the same Discord right now. Oh, huge amount of curb. Yeah. Huge amount of curb. Doesn't matter what car you're in, you cannot hit that curb.
So I tell you one thing, I reckon Pete might have swerved at him a little bit intentionally. I didn't get close on the way by.
That's a Pete thing, dude.
The best part about Pete, though, is he's just got this infectious laugh. He just chuckles like a little kid. It's awesome.
But you know the thing about Pete? Pete is the most Aussie guy I've ever met in my life.
Oh, he's a larrikin, absolutely larrikin.
He's the most bogan as they get on sim racing. So coming up to the top of the hill, and he became a commentator. How's that? So coming up to the top of the hill again for the sixth time. So this is where mate. Oh, Peter Gretton just getting millimeters off the wall there. Schultz gets a bit loose on the top of the hill too, coming back down the hill. But what was it kind of like working with Pete? I know you guys have worked together a little bit off the side and with SRW. What was it kind of like working with Pete?
He's just a lot of energy, and he's just enthusiastic, and he really loves his racing. That's the guy. I talked about Ray Oliver already, right? How much just Ray Oliver just loves getting out there, getting out on track and just doing what it is that he does. Well, Pete's the same thing, but his thing is commentating. He's just here for watch good racing, and anytime he gets to view good racing, it's a win. What's on Daniel Fritz's car this week? Because that looks like a new livery to me.
He's got the whiskey entry in.
Yeah, the whiskey runner's entry, but...
Yeah. Is it a different livery? No, he ran that last week.
Okay, maybe it was 2 weeks ago. I'm not 100% sure if I commentated last week.
Did you actually?
I've no idea, mate.
Vincent? I think it was.
Brenton. Maybe I did commentate.
Oh, mate. The weeks are like just gone, aren't they?
It's silly season. It's that time of year.
Oh, seriously. I was talking to my mother the other day. And I said, oh, it's been like 2 years since this has happened. She's like, no, that was like 2 months ago. And I went, oh, shit. I was like, bloody hell. I'm getting old. I'm getting old, Scotty.
Mate, you're not even 20. I'm sorry. I should be whipping out the walking stick on you, my friend. Here we go.
Oh, it's Brad Wall, your teammate. He's coming down the hill. And just chasing down Cowie, and I know Rob loved that comment, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, talking about my age. So coming down to Forest Elbow.
You are a whippersnapper. You get out. You need to start listening to your elders, my friend. All that advice I've been trying to send your way. mate, you just listen to the producer in the background. He's got some wise words for a young whippersnapper like you.
Yeah, I know that, mate. I know that.
Rob, just turn your microphone back on. You get back in here. Oh, ladies and gents, how is everyone going actually tonight? We haven't actually thrown a
we've completely forgot about them. We've completely forgot about them. How good are we, Scotty?
SLM Gaming, so that'll be Matty Keens over in the chat. SLM
He's always there.
So it's all over it. So Shibby's over here enjoying his lovely night off.
Easy.
And still he's still in the chat. Like, go enjoy some time away,
I was going to say, Shibby, F off. Go away. How rude. Tyson McAvoy saying in the chat. Thanks, mate. But, it's, mate, the man never stops working, does he?
No, he's just committed. He's committed to what he does.
Yeah. He's one of our... Oh, that was close.
Cowie went in there quite shallow. So Brad's taking a very alternative line on the way up into... No, sorry, not Brad. Cowie's taking an alternative line. Cowie's the purple one. An alternative line on the way into the cut. So he's quite shallow. Now, Brad's really opened up the corner. This is one of the areas that I did a lot of work with Brad over the last couple of days. We actually shaved a second out of his lap time because it's about the momentum you carry out of the cutting. It's not the momentum that you carry in. You can actually want to sacrifice a little bit of speed on the way in. Oh, Cowie's in the wall! No, he survived.
Did he? Oh, he didn't touch the wall.
No, he didn't touch the wall.
Hang on, Schultz on the radio. If my radio can work.
So we could be getting a safety car here in a second. Yep, safety car's going to come out. So that's going to trigger a round of stops.
Oh, Brad Wall.
Michael Cuttajar.
Oh.
Michael Cuttajar's at pit lane entry, so he'll dive in straight away.
I was going to say, if you were Brad Wall, you would just hope, like, you just wish that he was just a bit closer to Cowie there, but on board with Nathan Allen. And this is Schultz, the one yellow and red one, the one that called in the safety car.
Yep, so
we'll see if something happens here. And I'm going to say he's...
Oh!
That's unfortunate. Oh, and Schultz just... Oh, bang! That's... Is 3 involved?
No, just the 2. Just the 2.
Wow.
I think that's Cuttajar that's just... No, that's Sheaf. It's Tyler Sheaf that's just arrived on scene. So... I think we've got to go on board with the 3rd car at the back of the train. I have a feeling it's Pete Gretton.
Yeah, that's Pete behind Aiden. I'm just... Nathan Allen on the radio as well.
Yeah. So he's just trying to overcorrect for the car ahead. And then...
Peter Gretton going really slow down the hill too.
He's got through there. I'd tell you what, he's got through there. I don't think there's any contacts.
Wow. How? How? Oh. Tyson McAvoy back in the safety car as well, ladies and gentlemen. He's, or do we have someone different in it? We have
I think it's Jamie Dyke. Yeah.
Wow. So he's handed the keys over to his precious BMW.
Old trigger finger McAvoy, huh? Did I tell you about that? No, you were here for the start of the season.
Was I? Yeah, I was. What was the joke, Scotty? Refresh my memory.
Oh, I just like calling him trigger finger because he one of the first nights I think I saw him race controlling in SRW, he was on his own. He was driving the safety car and doing the race controlling. And there were 3 safety cars that night. It was a Formula 3 race and it was at the Japanese circuit, the tiny little one, not
Tabasu?
Not Tsukuba, the other one, the private one.
Okayama.
Okayama, yeah, it was Formula 3's at Okayama. There were 3 safety cars that night, and I called him Trigger Finger McAvoy, and that sort of stuck.
Yeah.
I've called him a few different names. I've called him the Fresh Prince at one stage, because he put a really fancy photo of himself up.
Oh no.
He was in a suit and tie. It was for an end of season football dinner, I think it was.
I think I've seen that photo. Do you see the ones where he posts like when he's at the football?
No, I try and avoid them as much as possible because they make him look good, and I can't view any material that makes Tyson McAvoy look good.
Indeed. So Jamie Dyke just leading the field away, but yeah, McAvoy's been kind of just driving the safety car all season. I think Dyke's jumped in it twice, 3 times maybe.
Can I just say that I'm pretty sure that Jamie Dyke is manually flashing those safety car lights, and that is basically how he drives a V8 supercar too.
Indeed. I was having a good chat to Dyke. I chatted with him for about 2 hours. No kidding. No word of a lie. And we had a bit of a funny. Now, do you remember this, Scotty? Do you remember at Winton and Braden Sagas are holding up Jamie Dyke, Blake Delaney, and David Coleman?
Yep.
Yeah, you remember that?
Yes, so I faintly remember something like that happening. Yep.
Now, I had a good old chat with Jamie Dyke with that, and mate, the conversation we had about that, he was rolling on the floor because he had a dive at Braden and they collided, right? And is he going in? Nope. So we're gonna stay out for another one. And he was saying like Braden was such a good defender and everything. And don't
say that out loud to Braden. Ever.
I know. Is he on? Let's just have a quick look. Indeed he is. Indeed he is.
Okay, we can't say nice things about him.
But yeah, I had a great chat with Dyke, and again, just getting in the mind of Jamie Dyke, like how to defend and how to attack people, and the way he thinks about strategy and how he races, it's pretty remarkable. Talking to Dyke.
He's the very the thing about
very
Jamie
intelligent
Dyke,
about IQ.
Very look. He's a bust.
He does have his moments.
I wouldn't call him out and out intelligent, right? I would say
racing IQ.
Racing car
yes.
Yes.
Racing IQ.
Hi Jamie, how are you doing?
I love how we're just talking about Dyke. Now, we both know, Scotty, if we jumped in a GT3 in a supercar, we'd be wiped. Let's just clear that out loud, right? But if we jump in an IndyCar, we're all good, Scott. So, right. Let's talk about Dyke. But yeah, very smart with just how he drives and getting into the head of him. It shows.
Very controlled, everything about what Jamie Dyke does in the car is deliberate.
Yes.
And that is the best way to be. But he's so relaxed about it, so calm and just so under control. He's just so well versed because he's done that many laps, that many miles, that much control. But that's how you do it, ladies and gentlemen. That's why Scotty Callahan's as quick as he is. That's why Michael Cuttajar is as quick as he is. You will naturally progress as a racing car driver the more time you spend in the car. And to be perfectly honest, that is probably why Steven Sinkovich is driving the worst I've ever seen him drive this season.
Oh.
He just hasn't got the time. He just really straight and truly, he is putting his best efforts in, but by the time he gets home for a race of an evening, and he's just got not enough time to get in the car.
But that's it sometimes. Like, we've talked about certain people that we don't want to compliment, and
Steve does a lot of stuff, and I mean he puts a lot on his plate.
But it's just trying to find time now, like for racing, Yeah, exactly. And the other thing too is like COVID's not around anymore. Do you remember when COVID was booming? Oh my God, everyone was on. Like, I think that's why sim racing has developed so much, and that's why everyone's so quick now, because everyone had that much time to do F all. Now everyone's so quick.
I believe the correct term is sweet race all.
Yeah. So Jamie Dyke's leading the safety car away, and the man himself, Scotty Callahan, is leading the field. Now, Scott.
But there's a big question mark.
So, I was about to ask you, what do you think the plan of attack is from here?
So I reckon he's going to get about 15 laps of fuel at full racing pace. Now we've done two laps under safety car pace. So I reckon he's probably got about 8 laps of fuel left here. It's somewhere in that sort of a range, 7 to 8 laps worth of fuel.
Oh, he's gone.
So that's not going to get him to the finish. He's going to have to pit.
Yeah, It's a bit of a tight one, so we'll see what happens to the end, ladies and gentlemen. But Scotty Callahan is leading the field away, and Michael Cuttager is under attack from Van Dang as well. So Van Dang stayed out as well. So this has really changed it up for the end of the race. And let's see how much Callahan can pull away from this field now.
So this does two things. So the guys that haven't pitted, Callahan and Van Dang, every other driver came down pit lane, took on gas under that most recent stop. In actual fact, I think Ray Oliver just completely overfilled the tank. So he's not going to have necessarily the outright pace that he did before. But the guys that are lighter now, the Radicals are such a fuel and weight centric car that the lap time improvement with that dropping... why have we got a car dropping back through the field? Was that Ray Oliver? It was. Ray Oliver dropped behind Jacques Swanepoel. So something happened to Ray Oliver in Griffins.
I think that's because of fuel. I think Jacques had a lot more pace coming up the hill. And I reckon... Ray Oliver went really wide. So there's about a 2-second difference with the pit time with Ray Oliver and Jacques.
But they're the longest by an absolute mile. They spent 3 seconds longer in pit lane for Jacques and 5 seconds longer in pit lane. I couldn't tell you. I've driven these things a fair bit, but the pit lane is one of the rare breaks that you get when you're racing this car. So I don't tend to focus on the fuel fill rate. I might have to do that.
Oh, Scotty, we love you.
Look, there's probably some resources on Google. I'm going to do some digging.
Now we have Rob now commentating in the background basically at me. So the two juice cars going at it, coming down to the chase. So swap positions again. So they've swapped positions again. Now, Brad Wall just having a big old slide coming out of the chase there. Now Dang's in.
Yep, it's the Van Dang. Van Dang's just going, look, I'm just going to pit straight away. I'm going to have to pit anyway.
I don't know. That's... Yeah. Alright, we'll see what happens though.
He had to pull an alternative strategy out of somewhere. He was going backwards, things weren't working for him. I think he was hoping for another caution immediately, and then he'd be able to get in, get his faster pair, get that wing hooked up and everything, so...
Super glue. So, Sean Noble on the back of Tyler Sheaf here. So he'll be wanting to get by. He's I've seen him in the last couple of rounds here as Tyler just goes really wide there, almost collecting the wall. Wall versus car never ends well. So I think the wall is on 0 in my record, and
you mean wall is on 1 and car is 0?
No. The car is on about 6,000 plus, and the wall's on 0. So
see, the thing is, the wall hasn't moved yet, but the pieces of the car, they've all moved.
Oh well, Sunday night, describes everything about a car.
Well, see, the thing,
crap.
the thing about driving, Connor, is that after you've got a few drinks in you on a Sunday night, the whole car's moving. It's not where it was before. So.
Yeah. I'm going to blame it on that for last weekend. But anyway, so we're moving down the Conrad, and mate, these things are absolutely flying. 250 kilometres, so they're 20 k's off a GT3 and about 40 k's off a supercar. So talking about speed, one of the juice cars going at Cowie, and Shock just almost stopping on the apex, just carrying too much speed, so he had to hit the brakes. Scotty Callahan's in. So he should be okay, I'm reckoning, to the end, Scotty?
Yeah, I mean, everyone should be safe to the end. So basically, Gretton's had an instance.
Oh, Pete's on his roof! Safety car's out. Oh!
Well, that complicates a few things.
Let's have a look at Pete. And here comes Vernie. Vernie doesn't collect him. Who collects him? Let's find out. Oh, Sean Noble. Tyler Sheaf. Oh, absolutely just beating Pete up there. Just a 1-2 basically. So DSL wanting services replay as well. Cowie sitting in P4 as well, Scott. So this is not a bad night for Cowie. But Brad Ball not far behind him at all though. So they're just going to go around again, and we're going to go on board with Michael Cuttajar. Take a bit of an insight of how you drive these things. So the safety car's sitting in pits, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll and they'll just drive back around now to start-finish line. Actually, talking about the start-finish line, we could probably have a look at our new camera as well when they come around to it. And there it is. Safety car's right there, waiting. Michael Cuttajar on the Conrod now.
So everyone's going to be settling themselves down. So field's just going to condense itself again. So this actually isn't the worst here. So now, unfortunately, so what happens whenever you get a safety car like this is Callahan's obviously going to pit. But the thing is, if Callahan had pit under the first safety car, the field is really spread out. And I mean really spread out. So what happens is, if there's a couple guys that don't pit in that, the pit stop is sort of covered off by that gap that you've got back to the other cars. So you actually have a look at Van Dang. He comes out P3, doesn't actually get past Michael Cuttajar because Michael Cuttajar had enough of a track lead on him to sort of cover that off. So he probably was better off pitting the first time. Additionally, that would have shuffled him. He wouldn't have lost any spots in terms of the queue. He would have been level with where he was in terms of the queue. Whereas now he's the one of 2 or 3 cars that are going to pit under this caution. And that means that when you pit under this caution and the whole field goes by, you're stuck at the back because they're all nice and condensed up. So that's why you see a lot of drivers pit under the first caution when it's a one-stop race. Yeah. It's because the instant that they know that they can get home, they want to come on in. The instant that you can't get home, I go for track position.
Yeah, well, that's it, isn't it? You kind of just, we've seen it at so many different levels of racing, and that's what Scott tried. He just went, okay, let's try something different. And
Scott Call's having fun. Like, take nothing out of Scott Call's strategy. He's just having fun. He's just doing something completely different.
Yeah, and 100%. And that's what I was going to mention is, he's thrown it out the window and just went, I'm having a bit of fun. And before Scotty jumped on me, but and Scott, just having fun, and that's what I love about Scott. He's having fun with it. He's, enjoying it, just enjoying racing.
Have you gotten to interview him yet? Because he's a hoot. He's a real hoot.
I've talked to him, but I don't know if we've got him in.
Okay,
I think we have.
Yeah.
We should tell him just.
He's just a character.
I was gonna say we should just drag him up now to have a bit of a laugh.
That's it. Let's just grab him because he'll be up there. He'll be bantering away. So we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. Give me a sec. I got it.
Wait. Scotty Callahan, you're in the box.
Scotty Cal.
This safety car killed me. I would have had them all if we didn't get this safety car.
So you had enough fuel to get to the end, is what you're telling me?
Yes. When I pitted, I only put 17 litres in, so I had more than enough. And this safety car is going to kill me, I think.
Okay.
I think everyone will be able to make it home now.
Oh, okay, all right. So everyone else was going to be a 2-stop race, was it? Because I think that was the exact same set as we came about this last time.
We're limited to 24 litres, so it would have been a 2-stop race.
Okay, all right. So there was a swap to the setup we used last season. Okay.
Yes, so without this safety car, everyone else would have pitted, and I would have been just cruising.
Well, here's a question for you, Scotty. Why do you think only Van Dang and yourself did this strategy then?
I don't know. If it was a little bit later, I probably would have, but I fuel saved and I did 2 extra laps over everyone else, so that would mean that I could go flat out to home, but the rest of them would have had to fuel save to even try to make it.
No, yeah, right, okay.
It's still not decided, but it's still pretty close. All right, we'll let you get back to the racing action. Finally, is there any words that you have about Connor and myself? You can call us dickheads, mate. We're used to it at this point.
No opinions at all. There's only one Scott, just remember that.
I'm Rattlegun, he's Scotty Carl. That's how it works. Have fun, brother.
Oh!
Oh! Huge contact! Wade Edwinson on Nathan Verdi! What happened there?
It's just, basically, Cuttajar was just holding them. Because he was expecting drama. So I would say, as Vernie picked up the throttle here, we actually need to have a look at what Vernie's doing ahead.
He backed off. Yeah, so
it's actually... He's had to pick up the throttle because if he doesn't pick up the throttle, the car behind him is absolutely into him, and then Edwards checks up again. But it's all going on ahead of him because the rest of the cars are nose to tail the whole way along.
That's so unfortunate there.
So we'll keep an eye on that. We'll keep, obviously race control's got to investigate that because, I mean, it is pretty clear that something's happened there, that doesn't happen without contact, but yeah.
Yeah, it's just a bit unfortunate, isn't it, sometimes, Scott? You just got to be so close, but you got to know your surroundings, and the guy in front of you's got to know his surroundings as well.
Oh, you know what we've missed? Have a look at who's in P4 and who's in P5. It's flip-flops this time. Yeah, Cowie's been overtaken. So the Cone Slayer 9000 might have a rebadge next season to the Cowie Slayer 9000.
Oh, we need a livery for that.
Oh, have I done something? Have I said something?
Yes.
Oh no, I'll put my foot in it.
Hey, Christopher Blakely, if you're watching, mate, get us a livery for Brad Walsh. Can't even do a livery for the Veloster, so I'm not even going to bother. But
Mate,
I hope Chris is watching this.
The green machine getting around all season.
Oh yeah.
Here we go.
There we go. Scotty Callahan making a move. Oh! Almost contact. That was almost contact like last night. That was very similar.
And Noble is a very stout defender, so I'm 100% certain that Calsall lifted. But if you have a look, he applies the brakes a little bit earlier than most drivers, but carries them later. Because he slowed down initially a little bit more than Sean Noble, but then he was faster in the later stages of the braking. So that's how he's carrying so much more speed. Oh, Daniel Frick.
It's off the road. Yeah, taking a bit more depth.
I thought he's the whiskey runners, not the grass cutters.
Not the dirt runners. So running up to turn 2 now, Michael Cuttajar leading the field as he's been doing all season, and Ray Oliver's still got a bent wing. I don't know why.
He probably doesn't know he has it.
Yeah, but you've got a teammate behind you. Wouldn't you kind of think, your teammate would tell you? What do you think?
If I'm in Jock Swanepoel's position, this is an opportunity for me to get one up over my teammate. I mean, I'm not going to tell him.
True. Yeah, if it was
I'm sorry, Connor. I'm sorry, Connor, but I'm never telling you when your IndyCar wing's bent, mate.
Shock horror. Or I'm never asking you again. I'm just going to trust the car.
Something's going on at the tail end of the field. Something's going on because there's a whole bunch of cars that are really, really off the pace again.
Oh, Cowie's around! Oh no.
The cowbell?
The cowbell is around.
Oh, he's massively damaged too from Cowie. There's a lot of damage to this car. So where's it gone wrong? Tyres have come down a little bit of curbing there, which means he's got to brake a little bit later. No. He's carried too much speed. He's carried too much speed.
There goes.
So why I can tell you he's carried too much speed was he's making micro adjustments the whole way down the hill. He's out of position and he's too fast from the get-go. And he turned into the right-hander before the dipper too quickly, and he should have just straight-lined it. He should have missed the apex at the right-hander, so he could have kept the car underneath him. He's tried to catch the car. He's tried to carry that speed, and it's not worked out for him. And this is what's happened to Nathan now.
Too much speed? No, the back ends just went around. So that could be a compression lockup, or that could be the grip.
No, that's a compression lock. That's 100% a compression lock.
Oh,
so that's a mistimed downshift from Nathan Allen. Oh,
how he's off the road.
Yeah, you saw that as well.
Yeah, I saw that.
Now, Andrew Cowan we've got to have a look at his car again. So Tyler Sheaf. Tyler Searle's a guy I play cricket with from time to time.
Hey. Huh. Oh, Sheaf just getting sideways after the cutting. Oh, Nathan Allen just. Oh.
He's just lazy. The problem that Sheepy's got there is he's just lazing about on the racing line.
So, Nathan Verney has been black flagged as well. Scotty, so...
Verney's doing his... Nathan Verney is not that kind of driver. That's one of the first times I've ever seen Nathan Verney get a penalty. I'll be honest with you. I think it's a difficult situation because Verney's reacting to the cars ahead and behind him, and prior to that, if Verney doesn't pick up the accelerator or at least release the brake a little bit, he gets run into from the car that was behind him. So it's everyone will sit here and go, it's he said, she said, it's this guy's, it's that guy's. It's actually the whole field's fault. When you get a start line or a restart incident like that, it's not caused by the guy where the incident happens. It's caused by 3 or 4 cars ahead of them generally, and he's got nowhere. He's carrying too much speed, not enough time to respond.
Let's
check this out.
I was about to say this. Ray Oliver, the pace just came out of the bag. Oh, not Cutter, Ray Oliver just having a massive wiggle out of one there. That was huge. I wonder if they're matching the exact same numbers of lap time. So this will be a race to the end now. We don't have long at all. We're about to hit 5 minutes to go, and there it is. This is where it's going to get a good stop.
Send it. Get aggressive now. There's no time left. You know what? Jacques is actually in one of the strongest positions of all three because he's getting a double draft off of these guys. He's getting 2 sets of draft. You think one draft is long? Wait till we get to Conrad and you get 2.
Well, his teammate's got damage too, so yeah, that's an opportunity for Jacques as well. I wonder if Mark Cutterjar's got enough.
So I know Ray Oliver's across the top from Jacques Swanepoel because look how far he fell back just before Skyline at Reed Park, and then he sort of had more confidence under brakes coming down through the S's. So needs to be close here off the exit. And he is close enough, but there's more momentum off the cars ahead. He'll recover it by the time they get to the end of the straight. I just don't see him getting close enough.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's gonna be close now because it's teammate versus teammate, and Michael Cutterjar versus Ray Oliver. So Ray Oliver just absolutely all over the back of Michael Cutterjar. We're still riding on board with Jacques, so we can see the whole thing go down. And now we're on board with Ray now, so this is what Ray's going to be seeing. What would be the nerves like, Scott? Do you reckon Ray's nice and calm behind the helmet? Or do you...
Ray's been in this situation a lot of times. He's such an experienced campaigner, and he trusts the guys that are around him. That's the critical part. If you can trust the guys that are around you, you're comfortable with the way that their racecraft is. Ultimately, he's the underdog in this situation. If Michael Cutterjar wins another race here, congratulations to him. He's done a really good job. But alternatively, if Ray Oliver can get all the way up here and scramble all over him, well then Cutterjar's on the back foot. And yeah, Ray's got nothing to lose here. If he's close enough and he sends it and it comes off, big props.
Yeah, and Cutterjar, Ray's been taking it to Cutterjar as well. So final round, this is just all down to just who's got the biggest mangoes basically across the top now. And yeah, not long to go at all. So 3 minutes to go now. So counting down.
I'm gonna be honest. You say mangoes, and I'm gonna sit here and say cojones, but they need to be the size of mangoes if Ray Oliver's gonna do it. That is an accurate statement, ladies and gentlemen.
Been talking about mangoes all season. So coming down the hill now, Scott. So he has just been coming through the field as well. And we heard about the strategy as well, and he's up 12 spots. Like, what a drive. What an absolute drive again from Scott.
Yeah, but he loves it.
Yeah, and that's what we've been saying the whole season and the whole, final round as well, Scott. Like, let's not forget about that. And it's going to go on to, I reckon, probably another lap or two, you reckon, Scott?
Most importantly, mate, the West Indies are none for 72 and reply to 4 for 598. So.
It's good. It's good you're taking notice of that, Scott. It's good to know.
Mate, second monitor. I can do this broadcasting stuff in my sleep. It's the cricket I've got to focus.
Oh, white flag.
Yep.
So it's going to be a race to the end now. White flag. So this is where Ray can make the opportunities, and I reckon it's a big Conrad. So we're going to ride on board for the rest of the lap now. But I reckon Conrad,
he's got to break the slow. That's smart. So he'll defend that very, very early, and he wants to just sort of unsettle Ray. Ray's able to do something drastic.
Well. Yeah. He knows turn 2's an opportunity. So Ray
wide.
That was huge. That was very wide. Oh, if Cuttajar can just gap him on the top of the hill, Ray's got no chance. Ray's actually sliding. He's pushing hard. You were talking about a calm, collected Ray Oliver. I think he might have thrown that out the window, because look at him now.
You can be calm and collected and pushing to the absolute limits of the car, though. That's what he's displaying for me. That's I know enough about Ray to say that he is just settled. He's in a great space. Again, if something happens here and he comes off with
look at that. How good was that? Under the brakes, Ray Oliver just... Sorry, Scott, but that was awesome coming down the hill.
Here it comes, commitment, man.
Yeah. We were talking about mangoes, and this is where the mangoes will come involved. We've been talking about half-sucked mangoes and the big mangoes now, so that's going to be going into 2023, big mangoes. So coming down Conrad, the fastest corner coming up in Australian motorsport, as Scaife would like to say. And now here comes Ray. Does he commit? This is the perfect line to be. Oh, does he have the grip? Oh, contact! Cuttajar slightly touched. Here comes Jacques. Does Jacques get him? Jacques on the outside. He's going to make the move.
Cuttajar will let this go. I reckon Cuttajar's
got it. Jacques got it. Jacques just won the race.
No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't. It was too deep at Murray.
Oh.
And he'll kill himself for that. He'll kill himself.
That would have been the first win for Jacques, and it's just been thrown away.
And that's a deer in the headlights kind of moment, because he wasn't even thinking he's in this thing with an opportunity. He's just deep here. He's going to try and turn the car in. It just plows. Cuttajar's so far back there. When you're in that situation, Connor, and he's so far back, you underdrive the corner, because the only way he's getting past you is if you overdrive the corner.
Yeah, and that's what he's done.
Oh, Callahan's sending spots over, so...
I was about to say, seen it all season. Oh, that's happened to me before as well.
Forget that. I'm not worried about the start-finish line. Not worried about that in the slightest. I've got to see the incident between Cuttajar and Oliver, because it could be...
What does that remind you of, Scott?
No further action from race control. They're going to let it go. It's net code. There was no contact whatsoever.
Oh, let's have a look. So, if we can get a good shot of this.
This is not going to tell the story, because this is the angle we've already seen. Even that's not going to give us a great story.
Oh, is that net code? I don't think that's...
I mean, it's close. I don't know if the rear end's been kicked out at the moment. That's a bad angle. You sort of need to go from a say a far chase or a dead-on front-on angle to sort of really tell what's happened to the two cars. This is the one that will tell the story. This will tell you all you need to know. I think Ray's deep. I'm gonna be honest. I think he's just gone too deep. I can't tell. Honestly, I think he might have lost the rear on his own. I would say that we need to speak to Ray, but we're not going to get the opportunity, because guess where he finished?
Oh no.
P4. Bradwell's on the podium.
No way. Awesome result. And we were talking about Cowie too, Scott. Imagine if Cowie was there. Oh.
There's nothing in it. There's absolutely nothing in it.
No, there's
And
nothing in it.
this is millimeters. So that's where the car lets go. And it's on the first few looks at live speed, you've got to go through these sorts of instances from a race controlling perspective, freeze frame by freeze frame, because you need to have a look at what the inputs from the drivers happen between the two frames. Does he start to correct it? Is it a snap in the steering wheel very quickly, or does he smoothly correct? If it's a smooth correct, that means he's overdriven the corner. If it's a snap in the steering, it's a bump. But either way, there's net code in it, and they wouldn't have made contact. Which is that's the correct call from race control.
So, got the results on screen, and everyone's going for the jump. And let's talk about this, Scott.
Hang on.
Oh, here comes Scotty Callahan and that Tyler Sheaf, and they've just hit the wall.
Mate,
we've got the results on the screen.
You guys are not going to make good motocross races because you've got to hit the jump.
Do you reckon you could, that would have been Jacques' first win. Oh, you'd be gutting. Well, Scott, let's get into it, mate, shall we?
I want to grab Brad Wall, I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah, let's grab him. Yep.
Because, I mean, he's had a bang-up season, and this kind of drive from Brad, this is what I've been seeing him improve, and he's not putting out the thing about Brad is he's not going out of his way and putting stand-up, single, flashy performances. They're consistent, always in the action kind of performances, and that's when you can tell a driver's improving. If they come out and have this once out of the box sort of style, really, really flashy, big win style of performance, you can say they're overdriving their car. They're making a lot of mistakes. It's not been that from Brad. It's been really, really consistent pace improvements, and that's why you can tell that he's going ahead.
So, Brad, mate, what a race. How's it to feel to come home in P3?
Unexpected. I was way off the pace coming into this, and yeah, so I thought I'd just, again, keep my nose clean, and ended up on the bloody podium again.
Hey, you've just heard the way that I've spoken to you over the last sort of 2 minutes, because it was about a 2-minute monologue. But to be perfectly honest with you, Brad, from the first times I've actually seen you drive, we've been racing together. I think it's somewhere in the realm of like 18 months now. It's a reasonable
relationship time at this point.
It's getting there. Yeah.
You're just jealous, Connor. Get out. Just because me and Brad have something you and I don't. That's
oh, mate, I've already got a relationship, mate. Jake Jackson and I, 2.5 years, mate. Oof.
Okay, calm down there, sunshine. All right, you're a little bit too young for that. Okay, anyway, back on to Brad. The thing that's impressed me, and I like watching Brad drive, because there's no big flash, there's no big effort, there's no big dive bomb. It's just consistent, it's clean, it's sticking it all in the right place. And Brad is one of the most, he's just a good guy to be around. That looked like it was fun tonight, Brad.
Thanks for that, Scotty. That means a lot. I disagree on the no effort part. I'm sitting here sweating. But yeah, I don't try to be flashy. I just try to race clean and close and hard and fun and all that. So yeah, to hear that from you, Scott, that's
Well, awesome. I'd say it's sort of the last 6 months, mate, that you've been putting together week in, week out. And for me, it's sort of showing that you've stepped up, because if we go back probably 6 months ago, you're probably back there with the back end of the mid pack, not necessarily towards the front, pushing onto podiums, those sorts of things. But it's been a progressive sort of improvement. It's not been 3 spots in a season immediately overnight. It's been 1 spot here, 1 spot there, but it's just clean. It's just really, really nice and good. I mean, what's the focus like from you? Is there any secret to the success? How have you been improving?
Just managed to stay focused the whole race. I guess back then I was racing in with I was in the chat with, in the open chat with everyone, and since switching to the private chat, I've managed to focus and improve. And I've been trying to get some more practice in, but I haven't done that much either. But yeah, I don't know what else to say. I've just been trying to focus more and.
All right, mate. We'll keep working in the off season. I'll get you a Rankin's a Rattlegun's driving school sticker, and we'll slap that on the Cone Slayer 9000. But how do you respond to the claims that you're gonna have to rename the car, mate? Because
I was about to ask that.
It's the Cowie Slayer 9000.
I might do that.
Cowie, I know you're out there listening, mate. This is that monster mouth, that's coming to chomp out of you again next season. He's put it on P3 tonight. He's put it on P3 in the championship. Congratulations, Brad, who makes it possible for the Sim Racing World team.
Thanks, Scott. It's the Cone Slayer's already salivating at the thought of season 1 next year, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it already.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brad Wall, your championship top 3 and finishes on P3 for your final round. We'll see him again in a couple of weeks' time at hopefully the Camera 6R. You jumping in the TCR? The Radical for that?
Not the TCR, but I'll be in the Radicals in the morning.
Sweet. I'm so keen to get back out.
I was going to say, mate, are you going to jump in the box, mate? Maybe in the Sunday afternoon, have a bit of a chat with us, mate?
I won't be around on Sunday, unfortunately.
Oh.
That's why. Otherwise, I'll be racing. But yeah, the only chance I get to race this time is the Radicals, unfortunately. But
I was going to say, quick question before we move to the next people in the green room, mate. But what's kind of next for you, mate? Are you obviously you've got P3 in this, and just moving on as a driver massively. What's kind of next? Are you going to a different championship? Are you going to try something different, or are you going to kind of stay in the same realm and just get better and better in the car?
Yeah, no, I've got no time for anything else, so I'll just be focusing on the championships within SRW, and yeah, I got 3rd this time. I'll aim for 1st or even 2nd next time, and yeah, see what happens.
Fair enough.
With the Radicals, I do head into this with the mindset of it being a bit of fun. I'm serious with the TCRs and the V8s, so the Radicals are a bit of a steam let off kind of thing for me, but yeah, it's managed to go well for me this season. So,
well, you've done very well this season, mate. Have a good one, and we'll see you next season, man.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
See you, mate.
Bye.
So moving on, we'll grab P number 2, and then we'll probably talk to Ray Oliver as well, because there's nothing like Sass and Ray Oliver on a Thursday night. That gets me going. First off, we'll start off with his teammate, and Jacques Swanepoel. Mate, Connor was celebrating. Connor was already celebrating prior to the exit of the last corner.
You were so close. So close.
I was expecting him to do a full send into the last corner, which I just wanted to break a little later and leave myself space in case he was coming up the inside. And I left too much space. So,
Mate, you're one of the most talkative people we've had in the box for a very long time, mate. We love you in here, and you just that close, man, like millimeters off a win, and just went too deep, and that was it.
Yeah, like I said, the moment the two of them clashed, I thought, here's my chance, and as I pulled away, I thought, we got it, and then like I said, that the main was too big, or my brake foot was too heavy, whichever one happened first. Yeah.
Yep.
but I was sitting the last few laps, sitting with my box of popcorn, just watching the two of them, and it was it was a really good close race. I didn't want to keep Ray up, so I thought let him go chase down Michael, and still got a second place for it. So I'm not unhappy, and I started getting the hang of the car by the end of the season. So next time around, we'll probably be more competitive.
Well, see, that's what we've said about a few people tonight. We just had a conversation with Brad Wall about the improvement in sort of his driver's standards. I look at the start of the season, you definitely look like a fish out of water. Well, you look more like a frog leaping around. There was good pace somewhere, and then you'd land again. There was good pace somewhere, and then you'd land again. By the end of the season, mate, you're sticking results together just about every week in, week out. It's that's confidence in the Radical. You coming for a 90-minute race in a couple of weeks' time?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely up for that. I'd still need to clear it with the boss of the house. So she cleared me for the Sunday, but I need to really grovel for the Saturday.
I was going to say, mate, at least you know who's boss, so that's good to know. And mate, what a season it's been like. It's been up and down, and Ray Oliver's been there for your team as your teammate. When you know, you couldn't ask any more. Ray Oliver being your teammate, mate. You probably learnt so much from him. What was kind of the big taking coming out of this season? What was your big, what did you learn the most, you reckon?
I think the majority of where I was making my mistakes was on the cold tires. Learning patience with the car to get it up to temperature first before you start pushing. We were actually in agreement talking exactly about that. This car is really tricky to drive on the cold tires. So it's learning that patience, especially on the throttle, and some good coaching from Ray as well, which has really been good. And us, doing some practice sessions and finding where we could potentially do things in strategy. I think a lot of our strategy tonight was, as soon as the safety car came out, put immediately take tires, because you can take tires and fuel at the same time. And then, as the next safety car came out, as much as you can feel safe, right? So you don't have to come in and stop again.
Yeah, mate.
Yeah, the strategy bits are probably, has contributed as much as learning a car.
100%, mate. I've learnt recently about cold tires and strategy, so I definitely know what you're coming from. Now, Rob and Scott know exactly where I'm coming from with that joke. And I got your punt before, by the way, about the frog leaping. By the way, Scott.
Yes, he's learning. I'm working on him.
I hope Shot got that, because that was good.
Yeah, I witnessed all of that. That was really fun.
So, mate, what a great season. And coming out in P3, who would you like to thank, mate, from your all the family, your sponsors, man, your team? Go for it. Go for them all.
Yeah, so obviously my family supports me through all of my endeavours. I'd like to thank firstly my team member for bringing me in. He's definitely been a good person to learn from. I'd like to thank the Frogley team as well as Chiefs Racing, Petrol Company, Toya Sim, All Ports Racing, and I'll leave a few for Ray to put his thanks to as well.
Mate, finally, the only other question I've got for you is, what is the question that that Ray does not want to be asked? Because we're going to drag him in here into the interview room in a minute, and what's going to unsettle and get him?
Was it netcode or not?
I think. I'm not going to say anything. Scott could probably say it all, but very close. Very, very, very close.
Yeah, thanks, guys. It's been a really good one. I look forward to the next.
By the way, before you go, mate, what's your favourite cereal?
Snap, crackle, and pop.
Rice bubbles, man. Rice bubble. Ladies and gents, we've got a royal rice bubble here in the commentary box. Hey.
Thought it'd be
thank you very much. Thank you very much, Jock. It's been a cracker, mate. Banger season. I'm really looking forward to seeing you out on track next year.
Yeah, perfect, mate. Thanks to you guys for coming in week in, week out, and delivering great commentary.
No worries, brother. Have a good night.
We try to.
Righto, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to give Ray Oliver just a little bit of hell before we settle off the season. So we're going to go throw to an interview. Safety car restarts after the entire flipping race. It was just a perfect way to sort of send off a season, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I just wish I'd fixed up the damage that I had in the pit stop, because that would have been a little bit better. But yeah, we took the tyre gamble and took the tyres in the stop, and it paid off in the end because I had a little bit more grip. So yeah.
Look, to be perfectly honest, I'm going to sit down and say it's probably a season that you started off looking a little bit out of sorts. You weren't 100% comfortable with the car. It's been a while since you've probably driven it. But as that season progressed, you really grew into the car. You grew into the series. Everything was just going your way.
Yeah, I mean, I must admit I got used to it. And compared to what I'd been driving before in the last few months, it was a big difference. But it was also just getting ahead around the strategy game. That's been the biggest thing, is just getting that and working with Jacques on it. Once Jacques came in and we could run with it, then that made the difference.
Mate, I've run with Connor a lot. He doesn't trust my strategy calls, so I can definitely understand how that doesn't help the team. Yeah, so anyway, it's been an absolute honour to have you along for a ride on a Thursday night, and we've got to move along to Porsche, brother, but who would you like to thank?
Just everybody from the Frog Elite produced team and all our sponsors. It's been a blast this season, and definitely a big thank you to Jacques, who's kept me in the game, and unfortunately I need to teach him how to take the last turn.
Thank you. That is the moment of the season right there. Sent on by
I must admit, I think he might have actually taken some tips from Nathan, because there's a bit of grass out there.
And Ray Oliver, ladies and gentlemen, never forgets to throw a barb the way of Nathan Allen. Thank you very much, Ray. It's been a banging season, mate. We look forward to it. Are you going to be joining us for the Camo 6 Hour support events?
I'll be in for the 6 hour. I'll be doing a Rattlegun, and then we have been
The Camo 6 Hour, I'll just be to get out there on track with you with the Rattlegun. It's been a long time since we've raced each other. I'm really looking forward to that.
I'm a little bit nervous after the last time. I mean, you and I moved in a TCR car. That didn't really turn out too good.
I was going to say, Ray, when you said, yeah, we're doing the 6 hour, it sounds like it's stressful trying to get all your teammates together and because you had that big sigh when you said that at the same time. Bit stressful trying to get everyone together.
Well, I think we're all going to have to do setups in a hurry, because I think we're going to have the changeover to the new tyre model, are we not?
Yes, we
Yes,
are.
indeed.
That was discussed today, don't worry.
So that's going to leave us with like 2 days to try and get around that. And, pretty glad that we're not going to be racing on Thursday night next week.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Ray Oliver, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks' time for the Camo 6 Hour. Thank you very much, Ray. It's been a pleasure, mate.
Cheers, all.
Ladies and gents, we're going to throw to
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Porsche Cups. These are the final round of the week, of the season, of just everything. The final for the Porsche Cups. It's good to see everyone back on track at Bathurst. We're back here again. It's just going to be a Bathurst week, and I've been absolutely loving it. It's my favourite track, 22 degrees, 9% humidity, and partly cloudy, and 8 kilometers an hour of worth of wind. So a bit breezy at Bathurst. I guess on top of the hill, the cars would be a bit sliding than what they normally are. So see if that wind affects any of them. So yeah, back here again, and we had such a good race from the SR8s. There was a lot of strategy into it. We actually didn't think there was going to be a two-stopper. We thought it was a one-stopper, but it was a two-stopper. Scotty Callahan said the strategy went out the window, so we'll see if there's any strategy here tonight. And yeah, it's definitely going to be a cracker. So
sure will be. While we wait for Scotty Rankin to come and join us again, I'll jump in here. What do you like about the Porsche, Connor? Give us a rundown what you like about the Porsche around here.
I have driven around here with my teammates, Matty Stewart and Jack Jackson. Just to let you know, Matty Stewart and Sam absolute pumps me. They dominate me. In a supercar, yeah, sure, I'm good, but in a Porsche Cup, I'm terrible. But yeah, these cars are so much fun across the top. The back end rotates across the top, and it's so much fun. You just got to be on the edge of grip and really know your stuff about these Porsche Cups. So now we're going to wait until qualifying. So we're in qualifying now, ladies and gentlemen. Now we'll wait for them to all come out of the pits now. And here's our lovely shot that Rob's been playing around with, and it is gorgeous. 3 of them already ducked out. Here comes one of the 1-9 entries.
Yes, there's a couple of things to do with this too, Connor.
Oh, welcome back.
Yeah. Sorry, the cats were literally about to eat me alive, so I didn't have much of a choice. I had to get in there and feed them straight away. Yeah. So look, a couple differences in terms of the fixed setups. This is an open setup series here in the Porsche Cup, and what that means is the drivers can control their fuel levels. So instead of requirements are to be out there for as much of the session as physically possible, with the Porsche Cup, that changes a fair bit. The Porsche Cup's best lap times also tend to come on the first flying lap, maybe the second flying lap, if you just can't quite get the tyres up to temperature. So you're only going to be doing 2 laps. After that, the tyres tend to overheat a little bit and start to fade away. And then they never really come back. And you'll fuel the car up to do 2 little lap runs. The instant you have an incident, you'll just straight back to pits, straight get yourself ready, go again. So a little bit difference in terms of qualifying. So getting straight out of the pits in terms of qualifying, it's not as important, but yeah, it's important.
Well, yeah, we saw Matt Stewart go pretty late, and one of the crisscross cars going very late as well. So yeah, there's a few guys that did go late. Jake Jackson as well. Looked like the 1-9 guys have went very late. Our early runners though, Sam and Dodds went straight out of the pits. Never seen people running out of the pits so early in my life. But,
I can tell you straight away that there's a huge gaggle of cars down at the coming towards the chase, coming off of Forest Elbow. Adam Hughes was looking for a little bit of track position.
Oh, have a look at this. Warming up tyres?
Yeah, but without too much speed. So he just wants a little bit of tyre pressure in them. Not a huge deal, just enough.
Yeah, just a smidge. So Sam's on his fly now, same as Dodds. So Dodds has actually got quite a bit of a slipstream there. So Sam was our fastest guy in practice as well. So he did a 2:04.4. So he's done a really nice lap time, almost into the 3s, and he's only 4/10 off that, Scott. That's pretty remarkable to be in a little Porsche Cup car. And Dodds did a 2:04.9. So there's about a 5/10 difference in that and the lap times. So this will definitely help Dodds with the lap time.
Yeah, and critical things as well is they're actually quite close to V8 supercar times as well. So the Porsche rotates itself really nicely around here. It's a lot easier to balance the throttle and sort of pick up the throttle. You can use a fair bit more throttle pressure. You can carry a little bit more speed through the corners. A little bit of a lighter, more nimble car than a V8 supercar. And that's why you see the similarities in the lap times.
Yeah, well, that's it. Like, you do see the supercars have a bit more. They can run a bit further away just with that horsepower. 645 horsepower, I think they've got. The Porsches definitely have a bit less than that, but
it's not much. It's like 100 horsepower less than that.
Yeah,
so there's nothing in it.
Yeah, and a little bit less, but the weight of the Porsche Cups are like so much less. I think it's almost like 600 kilos, which is pretty remarkable. But yeah, it's interesting to see the times because I think from a supercar, Sam's probably only off a second from the fast guys, and we'll come across on Sunday afternoon to see what kind of lap times those guys put down as Jamie Dyke and Blake Delaney and Matt Stewart go down for Sunday. But for meanwhile, we're at the Porsche Cups. So here comes Sam across the line. What lap time does he put in? Did it count? Yes, indeed it did. 2:04.6 straight out of the gate. What lap time, Scott?
Oh, Mazzomo made a mistake actually just going through the chase. He went fractionally deep, so he's gonna have to reset and go again on his lap. Harry Dodds has made a huge mistake coming out of Hell Corner, so he's had to reset. That's another lap down for him, but he's got a time on the board, so his banker is there.
Yeah, it's crazy to see Sam's kind of pace he's pulled out. We were talking to him like a season ago, like not even the start, and he was like, "I'm just trying to learn the car, trying to be up with Hughes now." And Sam's actually the same.
Can you see what I can see on Adam Hughes' car?
Let's have a look at Hughes's car.
Okay, it wasn't Hughes. It was the next car back. It was I think it might have been Greg Barber or
Greg Barber.
But there's just a crinkle worth of damage on the front end of his car. Just a crinkle.
Just a smidge.
Just a smidge. But it's just a little unsettling, and sometimes a little unsettling because you're like, is there something still right? Am I still okay?
Yeah, he'd lose a fraction of downforce there. Sam's just put 2 more purples down, so he's on a very good lap here. Dean Hunt's on a couple of green sectors. Greg Barber's put a purple in. Barber, you're not gonna believe it, Scott. Have a look at the times of Greg Barber. That is remarkable how close that is. That is astonishing,
mate. I hope you've been learning how to say some of these names because last week you couldn't say Mazzomo, and now Sam Mears on your team. How do you say this? So it's Maya. It's actually said Maya or Muir.
Yeah.
Basically, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah.
It's
We're close. We've been close, but not right.
He was talking to us the other day about how Sam's actually done a 2:05.5. No? Oh no, he beat his lap time. Sorry. It came up as a 2:05, but he's done a 2:04.5. Yeah, so Muir. There you go. Sam Muir. See, Scott?
Yeah. You got there. I'm impressed. Well done, Connor. It's only taken you all season.
See, my original teammates, Stuart Jackson, Sagassa. Very easy. So, yes.
Wait. Did you just say Stuart Jackson? It's Jake Jackson. Jackson,
I'm saying their last names, you.
Yeah. No. It's Stuart Jackson. I'm going to call him that now.
Oh, mate.
Yeah, Stuart Jackson. Stuart, first name. Jackson, middle name. Sagassa.
God, that would be a bad combination. Right, moving on.
Mate, the worst combination is being your team, mate. So he's already, up creek without a paddle.
Pretty much. Right, moving on. Adam Hughes just coming across the line. What kind of banker does he come up with? 2:04.7, so he just moves up to third. It's crazy what lap times. It's crazy how what the lap times they're pulling out. Oh, it's Hughes. He's probably used to the traction control. He's been in the GT3 recently, but just getting all crossed up there, sitting in P3. There's only 2 tenths in it, Scott, from first to third. Crazy. Right, Dodd's on the move now. Down through the dipper, coming up to Forest Elbow now. Hardest corner of the track, trying to get it pulled up. Gets it pulled up very nicely. Hits the apex. Well, you don't want to hit the apex because it's a wall. Coming down to Forest Elbow now. He's got a few green sectors there. He does have an orange though. So let's see if it affects him too much.
Yeah, we'll see how well he does down the straight. I mean, there's two schools of thought with Bathurst. And the prevailing school of thought, the one that tends to be the better of the two, is you want to run less wing around Bathurst. Now, why would you want to do that around Bathurst? It's got this really high downforce, twisty, tough technical session across the top. You're going to have a really nice balanced car over there, but where does all your overtaking happen around Bathurst? It's the end of the long straights where all the braking zones are. You can't get overtakes done across the top, so that means you run a really, really low wing angle, and you're just about being fast. Now, in qualifying trim, you actually might want to go back to that slightly higher downforce because you're just looking for peak lap time. And peak lap time around Bathurst, most of it's made up across the top.
Sorry, Scott. They had a crisscross car in the wall there. So if we can get a DSL Welding Services replay for that, because I'm sure that ended up pretty bad there.
It's only qualifying, my friend.
Oh. Being backwards in the cutting, though, that's always fascinating.
Yeah, it's entertaining for everyone involved.
It definitely is. Oh, your favourite livery, Scotty. There it is, mate.
Yes. I had it. So this was definitely something that came up. I was talking to the great Whitey's Pie man today. And a Whitey's Pie sponsorship was one of the things that was discussed, yes.
Right, okay. And?
We're working on it. It's going to happen. Jake Edwards is going to see what he can do.
Oh, God. Sam is absolutely flying on a great lap here. All purples. He's on fire tonight. So this could be a 3. So Jake Edwards coming across the line. He's done a good lap. And here comes Sam. What does he do? And no, wasn't a good lap time. Wow, that's shocking.
That's really interesting, yeah.
Do you still have your microphone on, Rob?
Yeah, he has his microphone muted. Pay no attention to him. Of
course it is. Rob, for all the ladies and gentlemen out there, Rob, you should turn on your microphone.
No. I like it this way.
I don't.
Ladies and gentlemen, you guys can't hear it, but we can. Connor's getting his comeuppance.
Yeah,
he's getting told where to go. Yeah, so anyway, qualifying is still continuing at a great rate of knots. We'll get back to the car racing, shall we, lads?
Bully Connor night. That's what it should be called. Bully Pixie.
No, that's every night that you're in the commentary booth. So it's not really all that special, my friend.
Oh, Friday night I get treated very well. Anyway. Oh well. I'm sure Scott enjoys it, and so does Rob, so... Right, Teen Hunt comes across the line. What's he get? 206, sorry, 2. So he just jumped up 2 spots. So he's up into P8.
I mean, that's just it. I mean, he's really starting to get the wheels are turning. Things are going in the right directions, but not quite as successful as they were previously. We'll see if he can really turn the table.
So Craig Barber's on a great lap here. 2 greens and 1 purple. He's on a flyer, so we're on board with him now. See what kind of lap he can put in. I've always wondered, Scott, and I reckon you'd probably know about this. With the crisscross cars, they've got the banner.
Talent, yes.
That too. look at Molly on the banner. Do you know why they've put it there or no?
Because they have talent.
Fair enough.
I mean, you wouldn't understand, my friend.
Oof. Right, green sector, Greg Barber. Hey, just letting you know, Scott. If I do beat you in the TCRs
No.
in the up and coming weeks, do you reckon we should have a little bit of a bet in a way? 2055 for Greg Barber.
No, I don't want to embarrass you here, Connor.
Oh, Greg Barber only 200s off Sam Muir. Great lap there.
To everyone out there that's probably thinking I'm probably being a little bit harsh on Connor. Honestly, he does serve it back. He does it in great job. Importantly, a couple comments coming out of the first race.
Right.
Number one, Sheafy broke his fastest laps twice, and he's improved massively. He took 3 seconds out of his best times. That was Jake Edwards, I think, that you guys were looking at. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and Greg Barber's going to back it up and do the exact same thing in a different section of the track. So,
Oh, huge slide.
they call him crisscross.
Can't
That
crisscross on him.
was not the crisscross that he was looking for.
No.
Yeah, so Sheafy's massively improved. I want to say big shout out to Sheafy. He's a massive part of the league. He's in and around the chats. He's hanging out all the time. Sheafy's a great dude to hang out with and go racing with. But more importantly, the comment that actually came out of Jared Farrell. Can we get a size of a mango check for Adam Shields and Jake Edwards, please? Look, they're only small stones at the moment, but as the night progresses, the mango size will increase.
I think I've started something here, Scotty.
Yeah, I think he started something weeks and weeks ago with the term half-sucked mango, and this is just a continuation.
Pretty much. So, qualifying's over actually, so they've still got whoever's out on track side of the lap, they're still on it. Sam's on a lap, and so is Adam. So Adam Hughes is on a flyer here, so he's actually got a green and a purple here, so across the top. Coming down Skyline now. Another green, so he's on a good lap here, Hughesy. Let's see if he can jump up to P1. Trying to just get the car pointed in. Oh! He's got an orange. I think the dipper affected him there. I wonder how much time he's lost. To get it back out of it or not? Staying in it though.
This is your last lap of qualifying. You don't get another opportunity. You may as well just keep pushing on. He's got a purple sector and 2 green sectors. So one sector where he doesn't improve isn't the end of the world for him. He's got enough pace. He's got the ability. He's got enough time left on the board. Can he stick it together?
Over the curb, nice. Just throwing it over the curb and it's grouped up very nicely. So coming down the turn, down to the last turn in Murray's. Gets it pointed in very nicely, across the line. And what does Hughes do? Does he jump up? And he stays in actually. But he's beaten his fastest lap in practice, and Sam Muir goes to it goes faster again, Scott, and he's actually faster than his practice. Great lap.
Yep, but only just too. So that says to you, tracking condition may not necessarily have improved. It's probably stayed pretty consistent in terms of where things are. But ladies and gentlemen, that is the last ever qualifying session for the Porsche Cup Series for the foreseeable future. Unfortunately, announcements coming out earlier in the week that this will be the last time it'll happen for a little bit, which is, it's somewhat disappointing, but that's life.
Yeah, in a way, Scott, like, obviously you've been commentating for so long. Are you sad to see the Porsche Cups going away?
Very much so. In terms of everything SRW and this mob of lads, this is the group that I've sort of been introduced to. This is the car that introduced me to this league, to the people that I'm now, out and about and interacting with and commentating on regularly. I've race controlled for these guys, and all of that started with Porsche Cup cars. So yeah, I am going to be sad to see it go, but it opens the door for some new and some different styles of racing, and the numbers have been down. And like we said, the changes to the car haven't really supported seeing good racing on the regular. And that's life. Sometimes things are going to change. Ultimately, a break from the Porsche Cup car isn't the worst thing in the world. And it might actually rejuvenate the series. You might see it come back stronger than ever, but love for this car has been fading overall. So
definitely. So here's our grid. Sam Muir, P1 for 19 MX Traps. Greg Barber for Chris Cross. And this will be the last time, like Scotty was saying, for the qualifying. So this would mean quite a bit. Greg Barber, Chris Cross in P2. Adam Hughes, Chris Cross racing car number 2 in P3. So Greg Barber's actually out-qualified Adam Hughes. That'd be a bit of a team game there. Harry Dodds in P4.
There's nothing in between them, though. There's nothing in it.
There's nothing. Harry Dodds in P4, Simon Zero in, I'm going to get bullied for that, P5. Matt Stewart in P6, Jake Edwards in P7, Dean Hunt in P8, Jake Jackson in P9, Callum Hutchinson in P10, then Jamie Dyke in P11, that's not racing, and Tyson McAvoy in the safety car, and I think Brian Sagas is racing, so, and race control in here as well. So there's your grid for the last time. Take it away, Scott.
Yeah, get ready, ladies and gentlemen. We're a few seconds away from seeing the Porsche Cup cars go racing for the final time under Sim Racing World. Hold on to your hats, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to the revs start to rise. The lights, they come on. Who is going to be your Porsche Cup champion for 2022? It's the run-off to Hell Corner, and Muir's got a great getaway, but here comes Adam Hughes from P3.
Oh,
to the outside, going to try and send it around the long way, but it's going to be Sam Muir that leads us off. Come on, take way down in the background. A whole bunch of 1-9 cars start to scatter, and still Barber's right there. He's going to harass Muir the whole way down the straight. Adam Hughes is forced to play second fiddle, and he's going to have to get used to it because it's a lot.
Dodds on the outside. He just went really wide there, trying to get all the grip around there. Simon's up the inside of Dodds as well, taking the opportunity in the background there as well. Simon gets around him now. He's up to P3, P4, and I saw Jake Edwards making a bit of a dive bomb through the cutting as well. It's all kicking off, Scott.
Yeah, it's about being confident in the Whitey's pies. You can't just settle in there and be comfortable. You've got to be confident. You've got to love your pie.
I feel like a pie trend's coming along, Scott. Coming down the hill, Sam's going to lead us down through the skyline for the first time. Through the dipper. Oh, he's pointed it in well. He's at the apex. He's done really nicely there. He's actually gapped Greg Barber coming down that hill, so he's done really well under the brakes. Coming out of the Forest Elbow, let's see how this goes. Greg Barber will have a bit of a slingshot. As the 9.5 and the crisscross car just gets so close to that wall there, Scott. That was unbelievable.
Yeah, but that's it. Cold tyres have started to settle in. The temperatures are starting to build, and look at the confidence of Sam Muir from the front of the field. Reasonable getaway. Now he'll control the field. An hour is the journey here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. An hour is going to be the trip, the entire length of the race. Who is going to be up for it? Who's got the stamina? Who's got the strength? Who's got the stability? Who's going to keep it comfortable? Have a look at Harry Dodds starting to get a move on. He's going to be all over Simon Mazzomo as well. He's going to have to start looking backwards. Can Harry Dodds, in the last couple of rounds here, start to put some consistency together? The instant that kid gets it right, the instant he's going to be a superstar of the future.
Yeah, definitely, and he's dropped a place already as Simon's just up to P4. We've seen Simon do really well in these Porsche Cups. At Winston, he did very well chasing down Adam Hughes, and I reckon he'll be doing that again. Jake Edwards in the crisscross entry of the Whitey Spies, chasing down Matty Stewart here. Stewart has actually been doing really well in the championship, but he jumped in with his teammates. As they gets a bit of a lock-up coming up the hill. Brain Sagas and Matt Stewart are in a championship team battles. Coming through the cutting now. Jake making a move.
That looks like Jake Edwards ready for a happy Friday night right there.
Oh, what a man. What a shirt. I love it.
That shirt says confidence. That screams confidence if ever I've seen it.
I need to see you in a shirt like that, Scott.
Yeah, not going to happen. I don't scream confidence, that's why.
Coming off across the top of the mountain now, Matt Stewart leading Jake Edwards. Do love Jake Edwards' livery, looks amazing.
Does, mate. It's actually really interesting. I was tempted to follow him for as long as I possibly could last night to see if a pie fell out.
Just come flying in your mouth, mate. It'd be great.
Look, free pies on offer. Oh, I'm going to be the first man on the scene.
Oh, mate, if there was an SRW event and there was a Whitey's pie truck out the front, mate, you and I would be the first one.
Mate, event. There's only the Whitey's pie truck. That is the event.
That's it. Coming down there, the fastest corner, now hitting the brakes as hard as possible, smashing the curb as Dodds is. It looks like Dodds' setup is very stable over the curves. Just seeing the car has just rolled over the curb there.
Yeah, but he's got to be careful. One of Dodds' biggest issues is overheating the tyres and not adapting to a changing car. When the car's sort of cold and the tyres are cold, he actually responds really, really well. His first laps this season has been the best he's actually driven during the opening stanzas of races I've seen him drive. Now he's got to make sure that he's ticking all the boxes in the mid section of the race. Is he making sure that he's looking after the car? Is he looking after the tyres? Is he pushing too hard? He's got to tick all those boxes sequentially, and that's got to be his focus going forwards. If he can do all of those things, might be onto a result here tonight.
He definitely could be. Top 3 would be good for Dodds. He just needs to get around Simon and Hughes, but I guess that I wouldn't be surprised if Hughes doesn't want to give it up very easily. So Simon coming up through the cutting, and so is Sam leading the field away. Looks like Greg's really holding him in though, that's for sure.
Yeah, so we'll see how they settle themselves down in a little bit. So you're probably going to see a little bit of a more passive race in the opening few moments of it. They're not going to go out and look to set flying lap times from the get-go. It's going to be look after your tyres a little bit. Tyres will fade off around here, particularly over the course of an hour race. It's going to be at the back end of perhaps a tyre stint. You're going to be struggling at the tail end. So any work you do now to keep the tyres cool, to keep the tyres calm and under control, really, really going to pay off in the back end of things.
Well, do you do a tyre swap if you're struggling on tyre?
You get a safety car? Maybe. Any other time without a safety car? No, it's way too much of a cost in these cars. The added time to do tyres on these things is somewhere in the realm of 20 seconds. So it's just not worth it. Unless you're going for that second hour. Have a look at Edwards though.
This is awesome from Edwards, right on the back of Stewart. Stewart might let this go. He's a very, very nice driver. He'll let you go if he knows you're up. And yeah, look at that. Oh, a bit of contact there.
Yeah, that's not too bad. I'm not mega worried about that if I'm being honest. So.
No, it didn't affect the car at all. Oh, look at this shot. Been talking about it all night, and this is where we love it. Look at it! Look at turn 1, Scott. See how there's actually a dip in the road? That's awesome.
There's always been a dip there. It's actually a what would you say? A boat service. I'm trying to think of what's the banked? It's a banked corner. So it's sort of got a real bowl to it that sort of banks you in and around the corner. So if you get the line right, you sort of when you nail the corner, you actually gain a heap of time because you're really rewarded for making that line.
So Dean Hunt on Sagassa and Jake Jackson just falling behind Sagassa, and contact with Dean Hunt and Jake Jackson. Oh, I wonder what happened there. So it looks like Jackson's car's over. So get a replay of that. Oh yeah, that car doesn't look healthy.
Yeah, it's the right hand side that's critical. That's where he hit it's the right front tire is where he hit the wall. So yeah, it does not look healthy.
Oh, bang! I think so. Go back a bit further. Yeah. Oh. What do you think about that, Scott?
Yeah, I think I wouldn't be expecting the car ahead to be coming back to the right there. If I'm going to be honest with you, he's come a long way back. Like normally you just sort of let the car flow. So I'm wondering whether or not he's got a little bit squirrely there, lost the rear end, and then he's come back across. They've definitely had contact. They've definitely had contact in that.
Yeah.
Jake will be saying there's nothing in that. He's not intentionally. He's just sort of lost the car a little bit. There's nothing in that. Yeah, it's impacted his race, but Jake will be just whatever. That's such is life.
Yeah. Jake's kind of one of those people, eh? Oh yeah, moving on. So Thompkins had a bit of a wiggle at the start. And Jake Edwards, we were talking about calm and collected, and Dodds having a huge slide. We're talking about tyres, and Dodds does not care about him. Jake Edwards is just going to go around him as easy as he possibly could imagine. So Sam actually doing a bit of a zigzag up the hill. Great move from Edwards though. Oh, there's the Maverick, the photo.
How blasé is he? He's just comfortable. He's what's going on here? You know,
that's it. Got a bit of information about Matty Stewart through the race as well, Scott. So
yeah, here we go.
Yeah, Matt Stewart has his kid has arrived, so he's a Papa Bear now. Matt Stewart is a dad.
Mate, I relinquish my title and control over the dad jokes. They're all his.
Mate, he's been doing them for the last 3 years, I swear to God.
So what you're saying is effectively nothing's going to change?
Pretty much. Yeah, he's a very proud dad now, so yeah, very happy. So well done, Matt Stewart.
That's the worst possible thing that can happen to us, because proud Matt Stewart, yeah, we're going to be in trouble.
Yeah, we know. Yeah. But coming down the hill now, Simon. Good run on the exit too on Hughes. Do you reckon Hughes has got a bit of a game player sent behind Greg? Because we saw it at Winton. Greg Barber saved a load of fuel. Do you reckon it'd be the same for Hughes now?
Yeah, these guys, they do play, they play for keeps, you know. They're not going to sit idly by and just let things happen to them, you know. They're going to go out there, they're going to go hard, they're going to go racing, and whatever will happen. So, yeah, they'll have a game plan. That's early.
So Gasser is in the wall, so this could be a safety car.
That is perfect. That's exactly what they wanted to happen.
Yeah. So we're on board with the 1-9 entry MX Raps Racing. So 219 cars. Oh, Sagasis went deep. No communication there. Come on, boys. What are you doing? Oh, that's a big hit too. He's rotated as well.
Yeah, there'll be words between those boys.
Oh, I can imagine. Sagasis still driving though.
Yeah. So, is what it is.
Sagasa, what do we do about you, mate?
There's a reason his nickname is Sad Gas. Because that's how he makes us all feel.
Well, here's an interesting thing now, Scott, right? 6 laps in, fuel. Sam hasn't boxed. So, what happens there, you reckon?
They're all checking up for the safety car because they think they've got to stop him behind the safety car, but they actually don't. They're nearly a lap down. So, yeah, and he's right back. So who was that? Was that the guys coming out of pit lane? Yeah, so he's been checked up. So that's potentially gonna. That was Dodds that came out of pit lane because he was a lot further up.
That was.
So I wonder whether Harry Dodds might have actually gone for the tires there.
Maybe.
Jake Jackson came out of the pits on the previous lap. It was Adam Hughes that pit. So yeah, Dodds has definitely gone for tires. He's taken tires, 100% he has.
I was about to say that reminds me of Bathurst this year when the safety car came out and the truck was there and Brody Kostecki almost hit the truck coming out.
Yep. So they're at the last couple corners now. And the other guys, they're just committed. They recognise they're not going to get anything out of this. So these guys would have driven a really, really hard lap with a little bit of caution, trying to catch up as quickly as they possibly can.
Yeah. Burning a bit more fuel though. So, but Sam's got a bit of help now as well though, so that will help. So Matt Stewart and Sam are going to work together now.
Yeah, well, Dean Hunt will slot in here. Adam Hughes is back up to 4, so he's only lost a couple of spots, and he's got the fuel advantage. The critical thing for me is how far down does Harry Dodds slide? Because if Dodds doesn't slide all of that far down, it's actually not too bad. He's in a really, really kind of good spot.
Greg Barber went into the pits as well, so that's going to affect him. So Greg Barber taking tyres?
He's taking tyres, yeah.
Yep.
Which, I mean, I don't half mind. Remember how I said tyres will be fading away at the end? It's only right at the end of the race. It's not early on. It's very much at the end of the race. So this isn't a half bad decision. I'm actually, not too fazed by it. It's got potential to pay off. It's a risky strategy because we just talked about in the the Radical race about how much track position you lose. The track position is so key in those sorts of things. Porsche Cup car, you actually get a little bit more opportunity to overtake. It's all about timing things. But the problem that they're going to lose is that track position, fighting back through those cars. If there isn't another safety car,
tyre.
Yeah, but they've got less fuel to add, so they've sort of covered themselves off a little bit. And Adam Hughes has hedged his bets, and with safety car, thinks he's going to save enough tyre. So I would, if I was in these guys' shoes, I might have just taken fronts and left the rear tyres on because I want warm rear tyres for this restart. And it's enough time to bring the fronts up to temperature. The fronts are probably the tyre that's going to wear a little bit, particularly because they've only been on high fuel loads so far.
That's it. And from being a teammate, this is a very split decision. So we've been talking as a team to try something different, and this is what the boys have done. So Jake's boxed, and Matt and Sam have stayed out. So teammates are helping out each other, and it's almost a.
I'm always worried when 1-9 guys say that they're going to help each other.
They haven't killed each other yet, but yeah, they did kill each other just then. So.
Yeah, which kind of help? Was it the one we just saw or the one we're about to see?
I don't know. We'll find out though. Chris is probably watching this going, oh no. Nah, but here's the thing though, Brayden. Not Brayden. Oh my God, Scott.
I'm offended.
One.
That is
I've
a
said
put
that.
down.
I've said that this season too. So I thought you were about to throw me out of the com box, but the two sensible ones are at the front.
I'm just holding you over the ledge for a little while.
So
make you sweat. That's more fun.
Yeah, that's always fun. So Tyson McAvoy in the pits now, and Sam will lead the field away with Matt Stewart behind him and Adam Hughes right behind. Dean Hunt's made up heaps of positions too. So
well, I think he's stayed out. So the front three cars have stayed out. So Sam Muir, Matt Stewart, and Dean Hunt are the three cars that have stayed out. Everyone else has pit. So that's the differential in terms of strategy.
But they knew that everyone else pitting straight up, they've lost anyway. So they've stayed out and they're going to try something different. And Sam's already pulled away. Very nice start there. Matt Stewart getting a nice launch as well, just following straight behind the teammates. So they would be calling that out, going 1, 2, 3, gone. So one of the crisscross cars making a move. Oh, Dean Hunt!
Dean Hunt!
Oh, Dean Hunt and Simon are gone!
There's no way. Oh.
Jake Jackson having to avoid that in the background too. He just went completely out in the dirt. Wow, that was huge. We'll need a replay of that now. Hughes backs off. So I'm board with Simon here, and let's see what happens to the 9.5 entry here. Oh,
so
that's...
He runs a little bit wide, and then they clipped,
bang.
they brushed just slightly, and it was just enough to nudge Dean wide, and then it was just the melee afterwards.
Jake just out in the weeds.
Yeah, Jake's out there on his own. He's not avoiding anything.
No, it just. Oh, what's over here? Oh,
Somebody's looking to try and pick up a few places as well. So I'm having a look at the pit lane strategy. Adam Hughes, 30-second pit stops. That's fuel only. Greg Barber, 1 minute and 13 seconds. So that's 4 tyres for Greg Barber. Harry Dodds, 58 seconds. So that's front tyres for Harry Dodds. Only front tyres. So
hang on. Sorry, Scott. I think Greg Barber's kind of. I'm not going to say anything, but Greg's got a bunch of cars behind him. Have a look at this.
he's got cold tyres. He's got 4 cold tyres. That's why he's struggling right now. You give it to the end of the instant that this comes on, at the end of this lap, he'll start responding. He'll start going forwards again.
Now, Jake Edwards and Greg Barber are teammates, obviously. So, that could have been a huge crash there. So let's see if what. So Greg's gonna cover off. God, the Dodgers win! We saw that at Bathurst this year in real life. Oh my god, that was just Toyota 86s all over that. Oh, looks like the tyre just completely let go.
Somebody threw some marbles underneath him.
Dirty air, mate. Dirty air, it looked like. Let's have a look at this. I've never seen this before. Oh, the car jumped. Yeah. Oh.
They tend to take a long time for these cars to settle back down, and they bounce a lot and oscillate sort of from end to end in terms of where the weight's situated. So that's the effect that you're really seeing there.
Hodgkinson's almost actually took out Simon. He lost control of the car for a second there and almost hit Simon. Get a replay of that. That was... I'm sure Simon needs a new pair of underwear. That was very close. I tell you what, you know who'd be happy? Sam and Matt Stewart right now. They are just pulling it away. The teammates working together now. Jake Edwards and Greg Barber. Simon having to deal with the damage, so the next pit stop those guys get, he's just gonna have to deal with this damage, Scott.
Yep.
It's never a good feeling, that's for sure. Looks like Jake's got quite a bit of damage on the front of his car as well, so I wonder if he had a bit of contact with Dodds as well.
Well, I mean, that's it, so we'll find out for sure.
So, Sam leading away, and who else we got in the battles? So, Jake Jackson moving up a little bit as well. He's moved up 2 positions. Chasing down Simon now. Jake having good news. He's wrapped up a GT3 championship, so he's coming away as a GT3 championship winner. So well done to Jake. So jumping back in the Porsches. Talked about this last week. He said it's just so different jumping across, and I think it was Simon as well. We were having a chat, and he said it's the biggest jump you'll ever go to. So boys struggling to jump across. So Dodd's back in the pit lane as well. Might have parked it up. You reckon, Scott?
Yeah, you definitely had to come in for a repair. It's whether or not he gets back out there. He's rolling again now, so he's made his way into pit lane, he's made his way back out of pit lane. He was sort of trying to hang it out there, trying to live with it for a fair while and see what he could get done. It didn't go his way, and such is life.
Dean Hunt hitting the wall and almost having contact with Hodgkinson coming under the tree. If we can go back there, Rob, and have a quick look. That was very close. DSL Welding Services replay here now.
Yeah, so Dean Hunt's definitely hit the wall as a part of this one. He's got no balance in the car. He's got no feeling.
Rob just saying in the background, it looks like a half-suck mango. My line from ages ago from the Supercars. It's not on your microphone, Rob. It looks so unwell. No, not at all. Just trying to drive the thing. Adam Hughes just doing the fastest lap time as well. Doing a really nice lap time there in P3.
So another request to tow from Jake Jackson.
Oh!
Maybe going to trigger another safety car.
He's actually rolled it.
This is on the pit straight? This is on the pit straight.
He's rolled it. Let's have a look at this. Dean Hunt's in the pits as well, so that's not going to affect him actually too much at all. So he's bounced off the curb. Oh, I just had no... Looks like one of the Brad Jones a couple of years ago, and he's on his lid. Oh. Oh, I reckon they do. Oh, unlucky for Jake there, just...
Yes, it's not been a great season for Jake, unfortunately.
Good in TCRs, but not in the old Porsche Cups. And we've got to mention as well, Scott, there's actually a bit of a championship battle going on as well.
Oh, this is the teammates battling away now. Jake Edwards and Greg Barber. This is odd from Greg Barber. He's normally a little bit better than this. I don't know what's going on here.
Bit of team game or team action, I guess. Oh, you know what sucks too? Scott, there was a bit of a team championship going on with Matt Stewart and Jake Jackson and Adam Hughes and Greg Barber, the two crisscross and 1-9.
Oh, and Jake's just left the race, yeah.
Oh, that's gonna suck for the championship for the team. And Sam and Matt are in, and Hughes.
Everyone's in this time. Everyone's in this time. So Hughes will have a splash to do here. Barber's got fresh tyres with a lot of them. I think Greg Barber might have been saving a little bit. And he's going to be in a really, really good situation now because he's going to have the freshest tyres of this whole bunch. If anyone in this bunch takes tyres, they'll go to the rear of the field. The rear of the field.
I think Sagas is still in this as well. He hasn't left. Oh no.
Yeah, so safety car's out for the Jake Jackson tow, which is why we're seeing all of this.
Matt Stewart has just jumped Sam.
Yep, quick in the box, that's what it was all about.
Great stop. Matt Stewart's done a lot of
Why is
kilometers
Adam
around
Hughes
here.
still in the box?
Oh, hang on. Tyres.
He's got to be taking tyres. So Greg Barber's jumped him again.
Everyone's taking tyres. Wow.
That's how critical it is.
And the 1.9 MX Wrap guys have not taken tyres. That's really going to affect them massively.
Well, I mean, it depends upon the way that they do their setups. When you're pushing the car really, really hard, sometimes,
tell you.
when you're pushing the car as hard as you possibly can, you're gonna put a little bit extra wear and tear on those tires. So what that means is, you gotta potentially trying to eke out the utmost pace they possibly can get out of the cars. They've torched them just a little bit.
So, I've got a bit of inside information, Scott.
Mm-hmm.
So, for the 1.9 guys, they've actually been given 3 setups for tonight from Sam.
They could be on different setups, but it's based upon who's most comfortable.
Yeah. So, so Sam's done a 4-wing V2, a 4-wing, just a 4-wing, no disclosure what it is, and a 5-wing.
I would say that it has 4 and 5 wing angles. So for the ladies and gents at home, what they do in terms of wing angles is it's a number basically, and the number will correspond to a degree of wing angle. I don't think it directly one-to-one correlates to the wing angle. I think as in it's kind of like a it's sort of like a metric. One on the wing does not mean 1 degree of wing. It means 1 to 9 on the roll on the wing. So notch number 1 on the wing, notch number 2 on the wing. It could be 3 degrees of wing, it could be 5 degrees of wing, and the notches in between could be half degrees, it could be full degrees, it could be 1.5 degrees. It could be a whole bunch of different things.
I was going to say 4 wings is the lowest they can go, by the way, Scott.
Okay, well, there you go. So it's not necessarily degrees of wing. So, you know, there's a few different ways. That puts more stress on the tires because the tires then you're trying to make up for it with mechanical grip. Downforce adds grip when you're at high speed. It doesn't add grip because there's not enough air moving over the car at low speed. But what's Bathurst? Bathurst is primarily medium and high speed corners.
Well, I'm just noticing, I just pointed out, I've just noticed them going down the straight. The 1.9 cars are very cambered compared to the crisscross guys.
That'll be putting more stress on the tire.
I was going to say, if we can get a shot, you could just see it. The camber on the 1.9 cars are a lot more front and rear. So that's going to affect
when
them.
that really works is when they've got long corners, because it basically gets the outside tire with a lot of contact patch. Yeah, Rob's going to do his best. You've asked a lot of this, man. He's trying to do all he can. You sort of need to get a side-on shot of the wheel. You can't really get a front-on shot. So what camber is, ladies and gentlemen, camber is effectively, when we talk about camber of the road, camber of the tire, it's leaning of the tire. Now you have camber and you have caster. They're both two different kinds of lean angle. Caster is the lean angle of the steering ratio. So basically, is the steering wheel on a longer sort of pipe? Is the less lean? You feel the weight of the car a little bit more. If you've got less caster in the car, you feel the steering weight up or down, basically. And then you've got tire camber, and tire camber is how much the tire leans in towards the center of the car. So if you've got 0 tire camber, the car is dead straight, dead up and down. There is nothing in it. But if you've got a whole bunch of camber on it, the tire's going to be tilted all the way in. You might have seen a few street cars going around out there as well with a lot of camber. That's a fun thing they like to call stance on those cars. It's overdone. But basically, you want to create the most amount of contact patch in the most loaded sections of the track without compromising the low speed stuff. The longer a corner, basically the car will lean over, the inside tire will come off the ground a fair way, and the outside tire will get pressed into the corner. What happens then is that more lean angle that's on the tire, generally it will deal with that a lot better. So a lot of long loaded corners through this section, and it's about keeping the car sort of balanced. Think about the chase. It's not necessarily a sharp, snappy corner. You're sort of leaning it in for a fairway, and then it's back to the right for a fairway. So the car is leaning left and right. Different camber settings also go with different rake settings. Rake is ride height variability between the front and the rear of the car. A high rake means you've got the rear sitting right up off the ground. The rear end of the car way up in the air, and a low rake means you've got a very flat car. Basically, the front and rear ride heights are very, very similar. That will adjust though as the fuel burns off. Everything adjusts as the weight burns off throughout the car. So these will all transition. Cold and hot tires is going to give you different feelings up and down the car. There's a lot going on in a race car, Connor.
There's a lot, mate, and like I was saying at the start of the stream, I have been trying to learn a bit about setups, and I'll tell you what, man, there's so much to it. Like, I was talking to Sam about setups, and I said, do you set up the cars for the V8 Supercars? And he went, man, they are way too complicated to set up for me. So Sam's our technological guru when it comes to the Porsche Cups. He knows everything about them, set up everything, just knows everything about them. So the safety car's got a pull away. Matt Stewart's got the field. And it's just, you know, the man knows everything about it, and when he came onto the team, he's like this and that, and we sat there like a bunch of pigeons on a fence line, basically.
Something, please.
Yeah, pretty much.
So not just Rattlegun Rankin, you can also call me Pigeon Rankin. There you go. No brain.
Oh, that's unique. So we were talking about a wing before, and there's your wing.
Yep.
So, oh wow.
We'll have
Stuart's
a
already
couple
went.
different slots. Yeah, that's not bad. I actually don't mind that from Eddie. It's keeping him guessing, and he's got Sam behind his teammate. Look at the gap. There's a second gap back to Greg Barger already. Come on, go get him haircut.
What a great start from the 1-9 guys. That's a... They wouldn't have been expecting that. There's no way. That's an awesome jump.
Yeah, that's the earliest somebody's gone all week with a safety car here so far, and that's just strategy. That's planning. Nobody's expecting it. Everyone's back in the pack up. Everyone's going exceptionally late. You got to be something different. You got to throw these guys off their game. You got to throw a curveball at them.
Yeah, it's try anything in the book, and as Jake Edwards actually comes over the radio, don't know if there's an incident. So we'll watch these guys. So here's Edwards here. Did see one of the crisscross guys go offline a little bit, so Callan just going a bit offline there. So wonder if something happened in the background there, but leading up the field now. Oh, have a good... Oh, this could be a good battle, Scott. There's these two have a bit of rivalry in Winton. I'm sure Simon wants to get something on Hughes now.
I mean, they've had the best part about the Porsche Cup is the guys that are still out there. All of them have just had this up and down, back and forth, ding dong battle just about all season long. It's you can say, yeah, there's a little bit of rivalry, but Adam Hughes will just be grin from ear to ear. Simon Mazzone will be grin from ear to ear. He'll be looking for every little advantage he can get. Where can he stick the nose in? Where can he be a little bit cheeky? Where can he do something a little bit different? With these guys at this level of racing, it's about setting up the pass. What I mean by that is what they'll do is they'll prioritize just being close enough at the exit of Forest Elbow, but they'll focus on the corner exit. Biggest, longest straight in Australian motor racing. You want to maximize the pace you carry down there. Hughes is fuel saving.
Is he?
Well, you saw the pace differential through the chase, mate.
I think Sam is too, because he's dropped
just
off.
Not as much, yeah.
I think Sam's fuel saving a little bit, because talking to Matt Stewart, he doesn't know it. He doesn't like fuel saving. He doesn't. He said he's terrible at it. So I think he's just going full metal to this one, and Greg Barber just right behind the two boys in front. This is a great little team battle. Crisscross and 1-9 covering the top four. That's a great shot there. Watching the little cars come up to turn 2 now.
I love it. This camera angle here always makes me feel good. I just love watching cars come up into Griffin's Bend like this.
How good is it? Yeah.
About the only way you can get any better is sticking a camera down in there on the curving on the inside and looking straight up the hill. Pete Baxter, actually, he's invited me. I don't have a choice. I've got to go to Bathurst in 2023. So I've never been to the mountain. It's something a couple of hours away. I have to go. So, yeah, I don't have a choice in 2023.
I was going to say, Scott, I'll meet you there next year, mate. I was going to say, yeah, Bathurst. Well, I'm surprised you haven't went to Bathurst, Scott.
It's just never been money in the bank, never been busy enough. I've never had people that I could go along with, but, you know, I'm surrounded by a bunch of sim heads now, so it's kind of not optional.
Jake Jackson could meet you there, by the way, mate. He's always went there. He loves the joint.
Oh, that's dangerous, getting me and Jake Jackson in a room alongside each other.
Edwards had a bit of an incident. He's had a crash apparently, so we'll go to the replay. All right, dissect this one. Oh, Scott, he's got a bent wing.
That's beforehand. I mean, he was a little bit bent before the restart, to be perfectly honest with you. So.
Oh, that's way too much pace. Oh, it's rotated. Oh, bang.
He's actually not too bad off. Like, he hasn't hit the wall too hard there. If he was, this was a real life thing, he wouldn't be in too much of a bad condition. I tell you what, no takers. No takers on the pit stop. None. Zero. Zero. No, safety car hasn't been called yet, but
did request a tie though, so
did. The race control will be discussing whether or not they actually call the safety car for that. He's gone. Actually, he's towed. He is done. Yeah, so safety car not being called.
Wow. This is probably what yeah, I reckon Sam and that little pack there, I reckon they're all fuel saving because Matt's pulled away. Not too much, but just enough. But here's the other thing Matt's got to keep in mind with Sam as well. Sam's in a championship. Now, I'd be worrying about points if I was those two.
Yeah.
But Sam did say it's Bathurst, so anything could happen. And Simon's sitting in P2 in the championship. Not far off Sam, but Simon needs to put a really good result in for tonight to get P1 in the championship. So,
well, I mean, he's not. He's got to do something from back there, Simon. Like Sam's sitting in P2, he's sitting in P5. That's 3. He's got to pass 2 cars before he can even start racing Sam. So
I was going to say, and the hardest guys in this whole field to get around as well. So
I'm wondering whether or not Sam and Matt have just gone, you know what, we cannot make it from where we are. Push on.
Yeah, I think that's what they've done. Because look at Sam, he's just put the foot down. Well, if you
he's already on the clutch. Oh my god. Oh, listen how far they're on the clutch. These guys aren't making it. Look, they're gonna take it as far as they possibly can, but they're not making it. They're not gonna make it. There's no way in heck they're making it.
So Stuart and Sam are just gonna pull it out and try and get that gap out, but they're probably gonna lose the toe.
The thing is, well, I mean, Hughes has already lost it. Well, Greg Barber's already lost it. Muir's pushed all the way back up to Matty Stewart. See, he's pushing on, but they're saving so much. And the problem that you've got, Connor, and I just noticed Adam Hughes ran very, very wide in turn number 1, so he's trying to save as much as possible, and he's missed his braking marker. Now he's got Mazzomo all over his rear bumper. This sets up an opportunity. And if Mazzomo is willing to just commit, this will make Adam Hughes burn more fuel to defend.
We saw that in Winton.
And Barber's wide now. Barber's wide as well. They're all making it.
Hughes is wide. Almost hits the wall, actually. Oh, this is... Simon does not want to be in this spot. This is... Because if the 219 fellas pull it out, get rid of the toe and just pull on them, you're gonna have to save heaps of time worth of fuel for that pit stop. So there's about a second and a half.
So the problem is, Connor, when you're in a fuel race and a fuel strategy, you have to commit early. Have these guys saved enough fuel? Because if they get late on in this race, it's too late to start fuel saving. So they've got to save enough early. And if you watch the car behavior this time by through the chase, this is critical. So we don't want to be on board with Sam Muir. I think he's committed. I think these guys are just on the fuel burn strategy. They were a second a lap faster the last time by than both Greg Barber and Adam Hughes. We'll listen to the onboard shot of Adam Hughes and Greg Barber. This is critical. Not Sam. We don't want to be on board with Sam. There's no engine noise. There's nothing.
Turn the thing electric.
Well, at least when there's an electric car, there's some drivetrain whine when you're trying to spool the thing up. Like, they are that far out of the gas. They're that far. Listen to it. He's shut the engine down again. I don't think they're making it. I'm honest to God, there's no way in hell these guys are making it. And the problem is, when you're in this position, Connor, they're losing the pack in front. I think Greg Barber's turned the wick up again. I think he's starting to push on. He's recognizing he isn't going to make it. And the thing is, Connor, if you're not going to make it, recognize it early. Don't keep trying to save.
And that's what Sam and Matt have done.
Yeah, Sam and Adam. Yeah, Sam and Matt Stewart have done that. But Adam and Simon, if they're not going to make it, this says to me they are so close and they're just not sure. And if you're not sure, push on.
Yeah, that's it. And it still looks like Adam's fuel saving. Greg's not bothering.
My word.
That's... But Simon can't do much. He's just going to have to sit there. He can't do anything.
This is. I mean, yeah, he's got a damaged front end, so he's slower in the straight line already. So Simon's best result, he was sitting at the back of the pack. It's difficult to get a move done at Bathurst, and it's difficult to get a move done cleanly at Bathurst. And everyone says, oh, it's this amazing racetrack. Yeah, but it's you versus the track all day long. It's not about getting the passes done. There's only really 2 or 3 overtaking spots. Everywhere else, you're forcing it. You're shoving it in there and seeing if the guys around you respond and respect space.
I was going to say, these are your spots, doing a lot of laps around here. Forest Elbow, the Chase, and Turn 2.
Well, Adam Hughes and Greg Barber, the whole way over Skyline, they're off the throttle before they get to Skyline. And they're just rolling it in there. What's he going to do? When does he lift off?
So we're on board with Simon. So does he lift?
Sam Muir is saving some. He's not. He's lifting out before he gets to the braking zone, but it's nowhere near as aggressive.
Keep in mind, Braden Sagassa and Jake Jackson are in their ears. So they'd be knowing what Adam Hughes and Greg Barber are doing. That's an advantage. That's a
ladies and gents,
advantage.
this is the chess game. This is going fast as slowly as you possibly can. And it's, no, it's exactly that, because it's you want to burn as little fuel as possible whilst keeping up with these guys. Because you don't want to drop off them, but at the same time, you don't want to burn the fuel.
Now I'm just gonna sit in Greg Barber's car and have a listen to it.
You got to, mate. You got to, because there's only one way. I can't see these guys making it, man.
Didn't hear much in Greg Barber's car. We'll have a listen.
He's pushed on. He's committed. He's turned that. He's flipped that switch.
At this
Adam
point,
Hughes
Sam
and Simon Mazzomo waited too long, is my question.
Yeah, well, that's it, isn't it, Scott? Seriously. It looks like Sam's still saving a little bit, though. He needs to just push.
Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, the racing tonight isn't out now. Oh, Hughes is in the wall!
No! This has changed everything.
I think he's okay. He's okay. He's got away with that.
Oh, no, he's got a bit of front right damage. His wheel's poking out. Oh, Hodgkins is in the wall as well. Hughes has got damage on the right-hand side. His wheel's poking out. That's going to affect his straight line. Same as Simon.
Well, it's not even necessarily a straight line, because Simon Mazzomo's already got that damage. So now he's sort of back to par. Might have a little bit more damage than Simon Mazzomo, definitely behind him. It's whether or not the car has got balance. How much feeling has he got? How comfortable is he in it? Now he's fuel saving, and he's trying to keep an unsteady car underneath him. And Barber has caught the lead back. He's still got it. It's actually okay. He's got away with one.
That you never get it, ladies and gentlemen. You never get away with it. Hughes is in.
This is really smart from Adam Hughes. Again, I'm not going to make it to the end of the race. I wasn't sure on my fuel anyway. I'm going to get in. I'm going to burn this fast repair, and we'll just commit to this strategy. He's going for the all hell breaks loose. Just go for it as hard as you can.
Sam and Matt are pulling on Greg too. Greg doesn't have a teammate now. This is no help. Even that Adam was behind Greg by a bit of a margin. He had his teammate to help to hold Simon up a little bit.
You know, the worst possible thing is that Simon Mazzomo got held up in all of that. So because he was behind Adam Hughes and that's when the moment happened, he's completely and utterly out of this now, not through any fault of his own. Nothing he could have done. He was saving fuel as aggressively as he possibly can. He's got no tow. He's left in no man's land. Does he save? All he can do is watch his sector times. That's all he can do. He doesn't get a visual reference anymore of how much the other guys are saving. He's too far back to take that.
And Greg, he's a little bit too far back as well. He's just in it. He's having a sniff of the toe. So Sam just needs to just catch up to Matt the tiniest little bit so they can just gap in that little bit more. But Greg is pushing this thing hard.
See, I reckon where these guys have landed is I reckon they might have gone for that 5-wing setup, because I just get the feeling Greg Barber is faster, I think, down the bottom of the mountain.
Could be.
And that means straight lines
across the hill too, so they could be gapping. Yeah, true. Matt Stewart and Sam have always been running off, but they might have made a gamble.
Hughes has just had a huge moment in the dipper.
Oh no! How much?
I don't think he's lost more than maybe a tenth and a half at most. So he's gotten out of that okay, but he's had a huge moment over the curbing. It's not cold tires. He didn't change tires.
Oh, he's just sitting there though. Oh, huge slide.
So that's the difference. That's the difference between car style, between we watch Cowie have that moment. But the other thing
Sorry, I was just about to say. So Sam's in front of Matt. This is team game right here. Matt's went, right, you're in the championship. I'll let you go. This is fine. I'm not in this. Smart. Very smart.
No
Matt
problem.
almost lost it, though. Matt almost lost it coming down to Murray's. But does that give Greg Barber that...
Oh, Shoes! Shoes has just had another huge moment. He is pushing. He is pushing the limits. Adam Shoes in this car does not make these mistakes.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. He's under pressure. He knows he's made a mistake, and now he's in that zone. I need to pick up pace, but he's just pushing the car too much.
Oh, my word. 5-wing. Yeah, they went with the 5-wing. So they're quicker across the top, more stable, more settled across the top.
Do you have information
Matt Stewart
from one of
and
them?
Sam Muir. So I reckon Barber's gonna overtake them down the straights, but he's sacrificing so much across the top of the hill. But if you can hang in the slipstream, if you can just about stay there, it's worth it. That's where you can get your overtakes done. The crisscross cars will be the cars most likely to make an overtake, but they're gonna struggle to hang it in there. How good can the 1.9 drivers be?
That's it. So now, but here's the thing. Greg's got a bit of slip from Matt, but I think Matt's letting Sam go so they don't get the slip from Sam. So Sam's just running away from this.
I think Sam's had this pace the whole time. He's just been boxed in behind Matty. You're saying that Matty's sort of maybe backing off the back end of him a little bit? I actually think it's the other way around. I think Sam was holding back whilst everybody's behind him, potentially fuel saving.
Yeah. Could be. So thanks for the information, by the way, Jake. Legend, mate. That's a gamble, though. At the same time, they're taking 5-wing, yeah?
Well, okay. There's two sort of gambles. The 5-wing, I don't mind it. I think it's just the right call. I don't think you can run minimum wing setting around here and get away with it. I think it's just too much. Even in a GT3 setting, you're not at your minimum wing setting. You're 1 or 2 clicks above that is generally where your GT3 cars will settle down. So I like that for the Porsche Cup setting. I think that's about right. I think that's about what most of the field will be doing. It just depends. The crisscross guys like to customize their setups. They like to come at it from different angles and build their own setups. And something tells me they would have gone for that option.
Oh, this is awesome to see for the last round of Porsche Cups for a very long time. Oh, mate, this is awesome. So Simon's pulling at Greg just the slightest little bit, but he's ages back. Really far back. 2 seconds back, almost 3 from Greg Barber. So, you got to feel for Simon, but you can't do much about it, can you?
Time's just come in here as well for Adam Shoes, and we've got to keep our eyes on that. Sam Muir and Matt Stewart. Sam Muir was 0.2 of a second slower than Adam Shoes. Matt Stewart was 0.4 of a second. Now, he's about 1.5 seconds, 2 seconds back when he entered the pit lane. He did a lot of fuel saving. His pit stop may be shorter than those guys, and he's pushing on. He was 1.5 seconds faster than Dean Hunt. Dean Hunt's not in the equation. He matched times with Simon Mazzomo. So if he wasn't quick through pit lane, a fast repair will cost you a little bit of extra time as well. There's still a chance here Simon Mazzomo pops out ahead of him.
Yeah, well, that's the chance too. That's a lot of time to gain, though. That's a lot.
I can tell you, I'm watching his wheel work. He's counter steering. He's correcting across the top. So they're putting a lot of slip angle. And when I talk about slip angle, I'm talking about rotation angle of the car. They're relying on the rear rotation, that pendulum effect that you get in the Porsches. They're trying to maximize a little bit of that, but a controllable amount. He's wide there. Didn't get the car turned in nicely at Forest Elbow. Push from Adam Hughes.
I wonder how much on the limit Sam is at the same time. Is he pushing hard, or is he still keeping that bit of tyre in just because Hughes could come back? Let's see what lap time Sam does. A 2:06.2, 2/10 slower than his last lap. I wonder if
so
Hughes can
Hughes
drop
is
in.
going to gain again. So Hughes did a 2:05.85 last time by. 2:06.2, 2:06.4, 2:06.19, 2:06.26. So just about even across the top 4. The time from Hughes is the critical factor here.
If I was the 1.9 guys, I'd drop in now.
2:05.59! He's taken huge amounts of time out of this now. This is Adam Hughes really pushing on. We've got 7.5 minutes left to go. Do they have to pit? Are they going to make it?
Oh, they're pushing though, so
committed.
Oh. I
What
wonder
a
if
word.
Simon can make it. Seriously, I wonder if he can make it. I wonder if Greg Barber can make it.
Well, the 1-9 cars, there's no way they can make it. No way in hell. They will have to pit.
Yeah.
Because they pushed very, very early on. Remember what I said? You got to make a fuel strategy work. You've got to push. You've got to save early. You can't save late. You've got to save early. You've got to put yourself in the window to make it work. So they're not in the equation. Matt Stewart is trying to save anything he can right now. Ultimately, I think Barber's got a little bit more pace than him, but I think they're both still in the pot. They're both saving.
I don't know, because Matt just pushed it right out of that wall. I think they're all pushing. Look at the rev limiter. Blue on the dash, just
There's no short
maximising the
shifting.
gearbox.
There's no short shifting, Connor, and that says, yeah, he's pushing on.
Yeah, that's
What's
Matt
the
Stewart
engine note
pushing.
doing?
He's on for a 206.4. Matt Stewart staying on the dash.
That was his last lap time, Connor, on the dash. Last lap time
Oh, right.
on the dash, yep. Because that's how I knew Hughes this time straight away. I'm on board with him. I'm listening
Oh,
to
Sam's
him.
in. Matt's in. Great
They're all
thing.
in. They're all in. Barber's in. Zerbo's in. The whole
Simon's
field's in. This is it.
Oh, Hughes is close. This is going to be really... Other Hughes is going to gap him massively. I reckon he might. I genuinely think... Look at him. They haven't even stopped yet. He's coming around the last corner now. They haven't even stopped. This is huge. Last round. How much fuel does Simon need to put in?
How much fuel does Sam need to put in? That's the critical
Sam's
marker.
out.
He's out. He's
Here
out.
comes
He's gonna move in
Hughes.
the middle of this.
Great shot! Sam coming around! Hughes! Right behind Sam! This is the battle we've wanted all season! Simon right behind Greg! He's found 2
He's got the
seconds!
momentum. He's got the momentum here, Adam Hughes. What an undercut. What an undercut. Committed to it because of the strategy. He's letting him know he's there. He's filling that mirror.
5 minutes to go. It's just clocked over. This is the hugest battle we've seen all week so far.
So there's 3 laps here, Connor. 3 laps in a Porsche Cup. It's going to be
Simon's
about
just
9
overtaking
meters.
Greg. There's a battle back there as well. Oh,
Are you kidding me? You've got to be kidding me.
Stewart in third. How did Simon fight 2 seconds? What a pit stop.
Mate, there's 6 cars on track, and all the top 5 are just hammer and tong at each other.
Oh, this is huge. All Sam needs to do is sit there and win. That's all he needs to do. He's got the championship.
But remember, he's got that 5 wing. This is going to tell us who's got more wing on board. This is the first time we've had a car,
Depends
not a
how
1.9
much
livery
tyre as
car,
well.
close enough.
Great
He's
exit
got a
from
great
Sam.
exit. Phenomenal
That was
exit from Sam. That's what he needs to do to hang on to the place down the other end of the straight. Yeah. Hughes is on 4 wing. Hughes is on 4 wing.
Let's have a look. Let's see
He's
if
on
he.
4 wing. He's 100% on 4 wing.
Let's see if he makes a dive. No, Sam's broken really late there. Dean Hunt's in the wall. I don't think there'll be a safety car, so let's see what happens. We're going to ride on board with Hughes. He could get him at turn 2. Could he get him at Murray's? No, having a look. Sam needs to keep concentrated. He needs to just focus on the road. Look at the exit Sam got. Great exit. Hughes needs to get a bad exit so Sam can run away with this. He needs to get up to the top of the hill here.
Stewart. Oh, big moment.
Wriggle. Commentator's curse.
So now it's down to a 2-car battle. It's going to be on for 3rd place, but it's only a battle for 3rd place now. It's between Hughes and Muir. There's going to be 2 laps, Connor. There's going to be 2 laps. This one and one more. There will not be 3 laps left in this race. So what does that mean for Adam Hughes? He's got to set this up. Last lap move at the chase. He's too far back to get it done this lap. Stay with him across the top. Use the draft. Close up. I'm focusing on a good exit off onto Conrod. I've got to get a great run up Mountain Straight if I'm going to have a sniff if my name is Adam Hughes.
I was going to say, Sam just needs to use all the tyre and all the car up the top of the hill. Risk it all. Look at Sam. Look how close he is on the wall. Look at Adam.
Connor. They didn't take tyres. So Hughes has a tyre advantage.
Oh, look at Hughes gaining down the hill. Sam's got no grip under that thing. But he's got the wings, so the wings help him. The wing would be helping him though. Coming down the hill, look at Sam, look at Adam. Sam's got a great exit.
That's where he's been weak. That is where Adam Hughes has been weak all race long. He has not been able to get the car off of Forest Elbow. He's got one more time to get through there, and it's got to be the best run of the night. I just don't see him getting it done. This is going to be a flawless lap. A flawless lap. It's the only way it works.
Adam really late on the brakes, using as much brake as possible. He's got the grip, remember. He could get the move done at turn 2 because Sam's really early on the brakes down Chase. Let's see what he's like at Murray's. Sam gets it pulled up. Very nice.
He's close.
Hughes, not a great exit. White flag across the line. Let's see this for one more time for the Porsche Cup. Round the corner. Let's see if Hughes can get a good exit. Good exit. Let's see if
fastest lap of the race, Connor. Fastest lap of the race, but it's not these two. Simon Mazzomo sets a 2:05.5.
Does Simon get on the podium? We're on board with Simon for Matt Stewart. Let's see if Matt can defend it. He doesn't go on the outside. Matt should run him out wide. He's done well. Good run from Matt here. What does Matt do? Hold the middle. That's good. Went wide. He opened up the door for Simon. He needs to shut that door.
Oh. Well, this is
What
going to
happened there? Too wide coming up to the under the tree.
No, you're kidding.
They got through. I'm out of breath. Here's another battle with a 1-9 car. Adam Hughes and Sam Muir. It's coming down. Adam's not in the championship, but it's the battle for the last race in the Porsche Cups. Adam's really far back. Let's see if Sam gets a good exit. That's all he needs. Backs it really up. Hughes, bad exit.
He's close.
Sam,
He's
really good.
Closer. He was closer now than the last lap by. This is the closest he's been the whole time. But it's a huge margin, Connor. It's a huge margin. I'm gonna say it's now down to Murray's. I don't think he's close enough for the chase.
Remember, Sam's got that downforce, that Murray zone. Sam needs to brake really late. He has. Look at it. Look at the cars moving under. Huge, massive curb. Let's see what Sam does for the championship, for the win. Does Sam come away from this? Hard on the brakes. Huge, massive dive.
Oh! He's got to get to the line. That's all he's got to do is get to the line. He's there. He's got it. Mazzomo's got it on the P3.
I'm out of breath.
Oh.
The Chili Bin coming home 4th. Sam Muir gets the championship and wins at Bathurst. Do a burnout, Sam. Good on you, mate. Oh. Oh.
Are you kidding me, Connor? Are you kidding me?
What a race! I'm saying it. That's the best race of the week.
It's the best race of the season. Screw the week.
Oh.
My word. Are you kidding me? A pass for P3 under the tree on the final lap.
Well, I'm gonna say it. Matt Stewart just said he was pooping himself across the top with Simon.
But that's respect. That's respect. The thing is, you don't get through here unless both drivers commit. And that's the difference between some of the incidents that we've seen this season and what's happened right here. Both of the drivers are alongside. Mazzomo says, I've got to get through here too wide. Stewart says, I've got to get through here too wide. They both would have made it. If they were both still side by side, they both would have made it.
Matt gave heaps of room. We've seen it all season with
Matt
Stewart
gave
just-
things
yeah.
Forget that. It was Mazzomo that gave more room. Mazzomo was nearly ahead. He could have turned out. I've seen drivers do that. They think they've got the move and the other car's going to back out. But why would you turn down when you've got the job done? And that, Connor, is the difference between a respectful race car driver that's going to live to see another day and one that's going to end up backwards.
Oh my
word.
God. I'm out of breath. Bugger the interviews, I'm out. Oh. I would be saying Sam Muir is screaming, let's pull him in.
Oh my word.
Sam, mate, you've just won the championship. You just won at Bathurst. How do you feel, mate?
Oh, mate, absolutely stoked. Yeah, that's unreal. First ever championship, and to bring it up with a win at Bathurst, yeah, doesn't get much better than that.
Mate, you had it. You go, Scott. I'm out of breath.
Which way did you commit? When did you know that you weren't making the end of that race on fuel? When? Because you've got to commit at some point in time.
Yeah, I straight from the word go in that the end of that safety car, I thought, nah, we're still going to need another safety car, even with fuel saving, to get home from here. And then, yeah, heard a request to tow pretty early on that got dismissed. And I was like, oh, maybe race controls called it a night. Put the safety car out the back, and that'll be it. But
I'm glad they did. I'm so glad they did. That created one of the shows of the season.
Yeah, what a finish, eh? That was, fantastic racing. It has been all season, though, to be fair, with the core group of guys that we've got showing up week after week. You know, we're small in terms of quantity and numbers, but, you know, top quality for the guys that we have here. It's fantastic racing with them every single week.
Okay. Would it surprise you that for the battle for P3 on the last lap, there was an overtake done underneath the tree and everyone lived to tell the tale?
Underneath the tree? Nah, I'm going to have to go back and watch the replay.
Well, I mean, that's just a level, I think, that just says volumes about the drivers we've got here, the talent level, the respect that's shown. And that's been shown all the way through the season. You throw it back, was it Simon that I think had the move thrown on him by Braden Sagassa in the second last corner at Sandown. But it's respect. You don't get to the end of a race by making contact and rubbing people and being right on their doors the whole way through. You make the end of the race by looking after the other guys that are next to you, and it creates the best racing on YouTube, mate. This was phenomenal.
Yeah, it's been fantastic all season, and you know that's one of the big reasons why I think everyone keeps showing up week after week, is because you know you're going to get a fast race, but a fair race as well, and that can be really, really hard to find in iRacing leagues. I think these days, there's always, it seems to be an idiot or two that you just can't trust, but definitely not the case in this group. You know that you can go wheel to wheel with these guys, and they'll give you the racing room because they just want to put on a good show and have fun while doing it. And this is one of the best group of drivers that I've had the privilege of racing with.
I was going to say, mate, you finally joined the Discord with all the boys. How was the atmosphere and what was it like coming across the line?
Would it surprise you that I was on mute and deafen for the race?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I was in there for quali, and the boys were absolutely giving it to me, and I'm like, I can't put up with this in the race. But no, it's been fantastic. Obviously, I've only been with the 19 crew for a couple of weeks now, but it's been two of the most enjoyable weeks that I've had on iRacing. It's a great bunch of guys, and so glad that I've made the jump across. It's just taking my enjoyment levels to a whole new level. So massive shout out to all the guys at 19, and for Chris for bringing me on board, and to you, Connor, for sort of opening the door a couple of weeks ago. It's been been fantastic. That
was the most random thing that I've ever asked someone, but that's a long story for another day. But mate, you've just blown it out of the park, mate. You had to come here and just finish the race. You said to just finish the race, mate. You came here and won the joint. Like, what a result to end on.
Yeah, exactly. I think that was probably the one thing that was missing from the CV, this championship, was to get multiple race wins. I had a race win over at Winston, had a couple of round wins here and there, just through consistency and getting on the podium. But yeah, I was pretty determined to actually get another race win on the books. So yeah, glad we were able to tick that box, and yeah, gives us some pretty good momentum heading into next season now.
Mate, what's the plans for next season, mate?
I will definitely come back for some more Porsche Cup, that's for sure. And then, yeah, really looking forward to SRW releasing the schedule for what's to come next. I've been watching the TCRs of a Wednesday night, and that looks like a heap of fun. So I wouldn't mind dabbling in that. And then
no, you banned. No, get out. No, that's my series. How dare you? No. Yeah, Sam. Like honestly, I'm like looking at this, and I'm just like, I wish I could drive. I could drive the old 991 like this, but I could not drive. Like, I was never good enough in the 992. We're
just gonna see. We'll sit you, Scott, and just go. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, mate. You jump in, please come race in the TCR, because I wanna mix it up with you, and I wanna go toe to toe and whatnot. So please do.
Oh no, it would be absolutely awesome. And watching, yourself drive around there and a few of those other guys, I think I'd be the one learning from you guys, I reckon. Certainly early on.
mate.
So,
I mean, with part of the 1.9 deal is that you've got to assume that Connor's the fastest in everything, and you just got to listen to him. So.
Oh.
Yep.
He's wrong, but he doesn't know that. So,
well, yeah. Hopefully, we'll find out next season, and then Supercars as well. I think those are still going to be running on the weekends for SRW, but so I probably won't be able to join you in that. But looking to dip my toe in Supercars as well, which should be fun.
I mean, you can learn off Matt more about that and myself about that. So, mate, all the backing for you. But
see, told you, he thinks he's the big wig.
But mate, you've just had such a great season. What was kind of the goal coming into this? And I did ask Brad Wall, but mate, what was the goal just coming into the season? Obviously, you came off last season, you were improving bit by bit, but now you just came into the season and won the season. Like, bloody hell! Like, what was your expectations coming into it?
Yeah, well, I learned a hell of a lot last season by going up against the Crisscross boys, Husey, Barbs, Steph McCartan as well. Fantastic pace. And yeah, last season was sort of consistently finishing around 4th or 5th and just sneaking onto the podium if one of those guys sort of had a bit of misfortune or what have you. And then I thought, if I actually do want to compete with the big boys and actually get on the top step, I'm going to have to up my game. So good opportunity to shout out Josh Thomas from Precision Sim Training. Actually hit him up over the season break, and yeah, after just a couple of sessions with him in the Porsche Cup car, was able to work on some techniques and find that little bit of pace that I was missing. But yeah, heading into the season, I still wasn't entirely confident of where I was going to sit. I thought, if I can sort of just hang with those guys and again sort of just go through a bit of a learning season by racing against them, then that would be fun. But yeah, managed to stick it on pole at round 1 and thought, oh well, here we go, we're in it to win it. And so yeah, it's been a fantastic season. And yeah, highlights, yeah, I mean, we've had a few pole positions, which has been nice, these couple of race wins, and coming across to 1.9, it's been a fantastic season. Had a ball,
mate. Honestly, I don't think you could have wrapped it up any better. And with the Porsche Cup, you've learnt so much in it, man. And the next adventure will be God knows what else, because the boys will probably throw you in anything and just tell you to drive it. But mate, honestly, what a great season, and mate, can't wait to see what you do in the future. Who would you like to thank your sponsors, man, and go for it, man?
Yeah, well, probably should start off by thanking everyone at Sim Racing World who puts this on. All the sponsors, help me out, guys, if I forget something. There's DSL Welding, Melville, Warren and Brown, Racecraft, and Toyo Sim. Apologies if I've missed anyone, but yeah, thanks to those guys.
Is the only one you missed, yep.
Ah, there we go. I knew I'd miss one. But yeah, thanks for throwing your support behind this fantastic league, and to everyone who gives up their Thursday nights to facilitate the Porsche Cup stuff. Again, I'm probably going to miss names, but Shibby, Scotty, Connor, absolutely fantastic work. I love watching the broadcast back the next day, and listen to you guys, give tips on racecraft and strategy and the whole lot. You guys put on an absolutely fantastic broadcast every Thursday, and yeah, starting to really raise the bar for sim racing in this part of the world. So awesome job. I think we've got Tyson in race control, and also Jamie and maybe Stefan. Thank you to you guys for giving up your Thursday nights and coming into race control. Should probably thank my previous team as well, TriStar Racing, whose colours I was running for most of the season before making the switch over. They're an absolutely fantastic group of guys led by Grant Tucker and Blake Neck. I learnt so much from them, so massive thanks to them, and all the best for the future. And then to the guys at Team 19, again, thanks to Chris for taking me on board, and to our major sponsor MX Wraps. And yeah, last but certainly not least, I should also thank my lovely partner Shelley for letting me indulge in this expensive and time-consuming hobby that is sim racing every Thursday night. So a big thank you to everyone, and looking forward to getting stuck back into it again next season.
Mate, what an absolute season you've had, mate. Hopefully you can, when the Porsche Cups come back, mate, hopefully you can get back on top of it and go and get another championship.
Yeah, well, hopefully we can add the teams championship next year. That would be nice. But we'll see how we go.
Yeah, 100%, mate. Well done, Sam. You're P1. Well done, mate.
Cheers, guys.
See you, mate.
My word, we're going to jump straight along, ladies and gentlemen. We're going in reverse podium order here tonight. We're going to go to Adam Hughes. Adam, I think you've earned a little bit of a nickname from the chat here tonight. We've got probably the most important question we've ever asked anyone from Sim Racing World here to go your way. How big are your mangoes after tonight?
Still pretty small, man, because I didn't get the job done. And I'm spewing. Like I had everything planned to come out of Forest Elbow, guns blazing, and just absolutely just like rusher the crap out of poor old Sam into the chase. But of course, as I've come into the Forest Elbow, my teammate starts like talking. I'm like, oh no, and then lose all concentration. Yeah, then it all goes to pass. But yeah, not sure, mate. You have to come check for me.
I'm climbing on a plane to go check out Hughesy's mangoes. Ladies and gentlemen, that was some of the most ding-dong battling that we've seen just about all season long. I think the formula of the Porsche Cup car around Bathurst, it really enables overtaking in a slightly different manner. It's not necessarily the overtake. It's about the setup. It's about being in the right spot at the right time. The strategy from you tonight was on point. The moment happens at the top of the mountain and you go, oh no, I've thrown it away. Oh wait, I can just pit. And my word, I was watching every moment from your onboard from then on. And that was a hairy ride.
Yeah, it was it was very much the incident up top of the hill was obviously not meant to happen. So long story short, that happened, and I sort of got into the comms to my teammate Greg, and thank Christ he was sort of just helped me out a bit here, and we sort of thought, do I keep going? He said no. Even though it might stuff you over, go in the pits now, get your fast repair done, because that's going to put pressure back onto Matty Stewart and onto Sam to do something about it. Because as I've pitted, I think about probably 2-3 seconds after I pitted, my teammate got in the comms and said, yeah, no, Sam's just gone past his teammate and he's trying to drive off now. So I thought, oh, okay, rightio, we might be onto something here. So I thought if one's doing a overcut, the other one can do an undercut and hopefully try and make something work. So it nearly worked. I got on the gas coming out of the corner now where I am on screen, and I just saw lovely old Sam just poking his nose out of the pit lane. So it was close, but not close enough, sadly.
Okay, there was 3 or 4 separate moments the whole way through that then. Do you think that that's potentially what cost you? You could have been a little bit closer, a little bit more draft. The moments that I saw, I don't think they cost you enough to put the nose ahead, but do you think it was close? Like, what's the read?
think I probably could have taken another litre or two out of the tank and run the risk and take the pain myself and take the consequence to maybe save a couple of tenths. And for sure, there was probably a handful of moments I had across the top, or even through, say, down Forest Elbow, through the cut, through the dipper, where I lost a tenth or two here and there, and just stupid mistakes from trying to overdrive the car when I shouldn't have. So I reckon if I didn't do that, I would have definitely been on the bumper of Sam for sure. But yeah, look, credit to Sam, which is obviously a lot cleaner and kept it clean. I should have. I've been slacking. I haven't done any practice for the Porsche Cup just because of other commitments. So look, that's something that's on me. But yeah, look, I think I had less problems or less mistakes per se, then yeah, I think it would have been a bit of a different result, I think.
In terms of the fuel situation, you were out of the gas quite massively. We've just finished speaking to the other guys, and they were saying, you know, the 1-9 team, they were committed. They just said, stuff it, we're going to go as fast as we can, we're going to go as hard as we can, we're going to go as long as we can, and really push the envelope. Do you think you were a chance of making the end of the race?
We've had to two-stop for sure, but we would have had to have taken on a lot less fuel than what, say, Sam and Matt were, because I know they were pushing. That was a strategy, and that was a strategy to go, but then we also realised that if we could save, I think we're saving about half a litre to a litre a lap, sometimes a little bit more, sometimes either on that marker or a little bit less, but we're making up a lap or two like every couple of laps, so I reckon we could have done it. But just the safety car interventions, when they came out, I took the gamble to take a full set of tyres in the second stop to try and do something completely different and try and see if I could make something happen. Yeah, I think it would have been close. We could have definitely got a lap or two on them with fuel wise and taken on less fuel on board, but yeah, hard to say.
Mate, you come home P4 in the championship. Do you know, coming off being a champion, now Sam taking it, mate, when it does come back, I'm sure you're going to be right on the doorstep to come back and come race these things.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like I said, I think last week at was it Winton last week we were racing at. You know, if I didn't have that power outage at the first Winton round over a month ago, I think I could have. The points would have been a lot closer. I could have made something, you know, would have been better in general for myself on my side of the garage. And the original plan was to actually have Barbs try and finish ahead of me, so I can get him ahead of Simon. But I'm not sure that played out that well because I think Barb sort of got stuffed around himself a bit too. So we just sort of having issues left, right, and centre. Nothing major, but just enough to sort of throw a spanner in the works. But look, it is what it is, mate. I'm happy with P2 for the race, and I think it's P4 or very close P3 with Matty, because I think I was only 6 or 7 points behind him before the race started. So I'm not sure if I've jumped him or if I'm on equal points. But yeah, look, it is what it is, mate. Just one of those things. You got to capitalise on the good races and minimise the damage on the other races. You know.
I was going to say, mate, every time you have turned up, you've just had pure pace and you've turned it on. And mate, I think you just having the pure pace, and sometimes you have said like, oh, I didn't do any practice. It's kind of astonishing what kind of pure pace you can bring to the table, mate.
Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, I think if I actually put a bit more time in it and sort of just sort of let other commitments go, or not other commitments, but other sort of hobbies go for a bit less of a time frame, then might be able to find an extra tenth or two here. But yeah, look, Sam and Matt have been on it all season, and yeah, rightly so, as well as Simon. Like, Simon's been on it as well. He's always been behind me or in front of me and within the pack. Bit of a shame that we only ended up with 5 cars finishing the race with only 10 starting.
It doesn't matter. I mean, I would have just had that 5 cars up on screen the whole time. I don't think that matters.
No, absolutely. I agree with you. But this is probably the reason why Porsche's is probably not coming back next season, because of the low numbers, and that's what's a bit disappointing. Cause it's fun to drive. It creates these battles, you know. We can have a bit of door-to-door action, unlike F3, where if you do that, one car is going in the fence, the other car is going up in the air doing a Mark Webber in 2011 at bloody Valencia, you know, or 2010 or 12, wherever it was. So, yeah, it's just one of those things, I guess, mate. You know, it just is what it is.
Well, Husey, that's one of the biggest Mango's drive we've seen in a good long while, mate. And I think that's something that's going to slip into your vernacular and how it's discussed. But congratulations to you here tonight in P2. And who are the sponsors that make it possible for Mr. Hughes?
Obviously, massive shout out to you guys, to Robbie for doing the cameras tonight. Obviously, yourself, Connor, and yourself, Scotty, for coming in and doing the comms. I'm sure everyone appreciates, as well as all the races tonight. Massive shout out to Simon and Sam and to Matty for the good racing. Obviously, as well as the other boys in Porsche Cup. Shame it's not coming back next season. Massive shout out to Barbs for giving me a chop out with setups and fuel strats and just strat in general. So massive, huge shout out to him. CXR, Smoke Studios, all the boys at Crisscross Racing, AE Boards, Poolmaster Bayside, and obviously Palmerston Bakery as well. And just another thing, if Porsche Cup does come back, Sam, I am coming for sure for your spot.
Mate, it's been one hell of a season. It's been up and downs with just like you coming back, changing it up. From Sam, from doing the championship, Braden and Simon at Sandown that one round, and like, mate, it's just been all over the joint, and it's been a pleasure to commentate you, mate. And we'll see you next season. So well done, mate.
Yeah, cheers, boys. Muchly appreciated. Focus will be on tomorrow night now. Hopefully, wrap that up and take that home with me with a bit of luck.
Yeah, mate, I'll be commentating that too. So good luck in that.
Cheers, boys. Appreciate it.
Cheers, brother. Have a good night.
You too, Uru.
Well, that's P2 from tonight's race. He'll sadly finish outside the podium in terms of championship standings. Circumstances didn't fall his way in terms of real life. But now it's on to Simon Mazzomo. And Simon, my word, that move on the last lap of the race, under the tree, the bravery, the cojones, the trust and faith in Matty Stewart.
Like I said on comms, that's one of those moves that unless you're 100% confident in the person you're racing and you know they're going to give you room, you don't ever attempt it. And I've said multiple times this season, these guys, I've got 100% faith that we're going to give room and race cleanly. So it may appear to be a brave move, but again, Matty had a bigger part in that as well, so that's kind of what helped get the job done. Is Matty just playing ball,
mate. Playing ball, you just had big mangoes and kept it stuck. And mate, you tonight, mate. What was the plan of attack for tonight, mate?
So I was just talking to Adam and Greg, but basically my plan tonight was I knew I didn't have the pace for Sam. Like even in practice, Sam was like a second faster than me on a hot lap. So I was like, yeah, I'm not racing him. So the championship was out of the question. I was just trying to consolidate second. And yeah, as long as I could stay within a couple of spots of Greg or hopefully in front of him, that was it. Like pretty much, like I was basically shadowboxing Adam tonight. As soon as he flinched, I flinched with him. Like what you saw with the first safety car that was called. I saw him dive for the pits. I was like, yep, I'm just going with him. And from the word go, I was just like fuel saving behind him. Even after the second stop, when I got back behind him, same thing, just fuel save behind him. That was it. As long as I was near him, I knew I was going to be fairly close to Greg, and Adam was going to take me away from the rest of the field anyway with just pure pace. So that was it. That was basically the plan. Just don't crash, get home, and if I try and stay within Greg and try and lock in second.
When you see the rear end of Matt Stewart's car wiggle at the cutting, it is the last lap of the race. Is there any hesitation whatsoever to just send it? You just full on committed straight away? Was there a part of you that's saying, oh no, we're not getting through here?
It was mainly because I managed to get a bit of an overlap coming up the hill. Because I tried to set myself up to go up the inside, but he carried enough pace I couldn't get there. Like I said, I saw him get a bit sideways, so it was like if I could get my nose there, at least get the overlap call, I'll stay put. If it was a case that I could, it's handy having triple screens because I can see where I am against him. If I was still looking at like his rear wing at that point, I sort of say, look, there's no way. I'm going to be at his on my knees, basically, don't close the door on me at that point. So, yeah, it was just enough of an overlap that I could see I was well alongside. I know he was going to get the call. And it's a type of corner that you sort of lift a little bit just to get around. So, yeah, I knew if I could just get the overlap, at least get halfway up and alongside him, I'll be able to command the space. And then obviously, yeah, the next part of it was just basically, yeah, just don't squeeze it. Make sure not to squeeze it because it's an easy enough corner, especially if you put them up on the inside curb. If they hit the barrier, you're dead. Like there's nothing saving you at that point. And so that's on me to make sure that I take that wide arc, that he has enough room to clear that inside wall, and it gives me a good drive out over Sullivan. So yeah, but yeah, it all starts with just getting alongside, just coming out of the cutting.
Mate, what a race. It was fuel battles, it was strategy, it was tires, it was who's going to blink first, it was who's going to blink it. Is that probably one of the most intense Porsche Cup races that we've had ever?
I'm going to be quite honest. It was actually a fairly easy race because of the fuel saving. One of the things with these Porsche cars, and this is probably going to be my feedback to the series, is that with these cars, once you go over the 30-minute mark, it really just becomes a fuel-saving race, and the tyres basically sort of fall off a cliff at that point. So you can't really push that hard in these Enduros, and that's basically what tonight was. It was basically a bit of a procession because, we all had to save fuel to try and minimise the time in a lane because you lose a lot of time in the lane at this place, and because how long the lap is. Any little bit you could save that can try and bring you close to a lap less of fuel, you try and maximize that. And that's basically what, from my understanding, most of us all did. Like you could visually see we were all backing up to try and save fuel. So the last half, once we got the splash and dash and it was the bolt home, that was probably one of the best races, best segment of racing the entire season. Just because just how hard we were all going at it to try and get to that podium spot, but overall, yeah, it's not that. Yeah, it was made a bit easier just by everyone wanting to fuel save, just to try to minimise our stop times.
So what you're effectively saying, I get out of that, is it was 24 laps of setup and 3 laps of sprint racing with a little bit of a twist. It wasn't a standing start, wasn't any of this sort of that, but. Oh my word. We were on knife's edge because we were like, hang on, can somebody actually make this with the amount of fuel? Because you guys were saving like you would not believe. That is the most aggressive fuel saving I've ever seen. I'm going to be honest, anywhere. And everyone was doing it. So it wasn't holding anyone up.
It kind of sucked for me a little bit because I was actually, so Adam and I, especially after we did the second stop, I was waiting for the fuel calculations to come through in JRT, and for a couple of laps there, Adam and I were clear. Like I looked at the pace we were doing and the pace everyone else was doing, and we were like, "Hang on, we're good here. We can go to the end." Like it was going to be touch and go, so we had to save a little bit, but we were going to make it there anyway. We had enough laps to save the fuel. But as you said, everyone else clicked on and started to check up, and because they checked up, the lap time, the laps counted was going to go up a lap. That's what threw us all out. If the leaders had kept their pace, I reckon we may have had enough to go all the way. But everyone checked up, and all of a sudden we're a lap or 2 lap. Well, actually, we're about a lap short, but we needed about that 2 lap barrier, or 2 laps worth of fuel to safely get home. But yeah, it was touch and go. It's just the fact that, like I said, everyone clicked on and had to slow up to save fuel. That's what put us over the line. So yeah, here's what it is. But in the end, it was kind of a good thing because it did set up a really, really good race towards the end. And yeah, it was lots of fun.
Mate, yeah, we're running out of time. It's nearly 11 o'clock at night over here on the East Coast. Your opportunity to thank all the sponsors and shout outs. And is there anyone you want to thank at the end of the season?
Well, big thanks. Probably big shout out to SRW for obviously putting this on. Big shout out to all the guys. I've raced all season. You guys have been amazing, and I really hope we could do this again next time. Big shout out to you guys, obviously putting the broadcast every week. And it's been awesome to go back and watch it. Big thanks to the team, Brick, for helping out with a few rounds as well. helped me get my first win in the season. So yeah, big thanks to that. Big thanks to the team, Racecraft, Turn In Race Apparel, RSW Graphics, Racing Gears, Cutting Edge Tracks, FU Suicide, and Ripple Media. So thanks, guys.
Well, well done, mate, for P2 in the championship, and not a bad result tonight, mate, in P3. So well done, mate.
Yeah, cheers. I was happy just to lock away that second. Like, yeah, just first time in this series and having a good crack at it. So yeah, I'm happy enough to, very happy to come away with second at the end.
Thank you very much for your time, Simon. Have a great night, brother.
Nice, cheers, guys.
Connor.
Yeah, mate.
That's it.
Yeah, mate. That's
Thursday night done.
Yep. It's pretty daunting just to think about it now. That's no Porsche Cup for a very long time. Yeah, it's a car that's been a cultural identity of this league for such an extended period of time. It's sad to see it go. I'm interested to see. I honestly believe it's track combinations. I think we've had some difficult to race tracks. If you were to throw maybe a Barbagallo in there, a Bend Motorsport Park, wider, longer tracks with more overtaking opportunities, I think we'd be seeing a lot more sort of participation across the board. So that's something the admins are going to look at for next season, and they'll change a few things up. But that race at Bathurst at the end, are you kidding me? It turns it on every time, though, man. Like, you go to Bathurst, and like even when you watch the Bathurst 1000, you look in 2014, Chaz Mossett versus Jamie Whincup. It was down to fuel saving, and it was down to the wire. At last lap out of 161 laps. It's just one of these racetracks that just turns it on every time. I did a race for Global recently, and it was the last lap, and Alex Court and I were going at it for P3. So it turns it on every time. It does not fail, and what a great racetrack. Mate, ladies and gentlemen, it has been an absolute banging season. We hope that you guys have enjoyed the ride. Radicals and your Porsche Cup tonight was some of the most exciting racing we've had all season. I do want to say a big shout out to DSL Welding Services, to Melville Equipment Corporation, to Dragon RC, Fast Track V8 Experiences, Racecraft Simulations, Warren and Brown Tools, and Toyo Sim, everyone that's a part of this. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be on Channel 31 for Victoria and South Australia going forward into 2023. That's already starting. We're starting to put everything together in the background to make that all possible. We thank everyone that's tuned in from day dot to day checkered flag. It's been awesome to have you all along for the ride. It's been awesome to have Connor along for the ride. Now we've got Robert into all things SRW. Everything's growing, it's bigger, it's better. We're just one big old happy family over here. So thank you very much for joining us. We hope that you'll be back with us once again into 2023. But for now, ladies and gents, tomorrow night we'll have your GT3 finale, the mini enduros, also coming to you live from Bathurst. 90-minute enduro. You've seen an hour of racing here from the Porsche Cup cars. You're going to see an hour and a half of racing tomorrow night. That'll be the last race before the GT3s receive a major overhaul. That is coming in only a couple of weeks, and it's get set, get ready, go. Thank you very much to Connor Pixie Nixon. Thank you very much to Rob Sainted Lord, and ladies and gents, that is it from Sim Racing World. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you again tomorrow night.